Come on. There we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the AI Learning Lab, everybody. Happy Friday night. Another Friday, can you believe it? It's another Friday night. So there's that. What's happening? Hello, hello. My watch is too tight. Let me loosen this. What's going on here? There we go. All right. Nancy, hello there. Irregulars. What's happening? What's shaking? Welcome. Real chatbots of the future. Making money with ChatGPT. What else we got? Let me find my Trello board. We got all the good sayings here at the AI Learning Lab. AI Learning Lab. Why don't I have Trello up? Weird. Oh, I'm sleepy. Let's see. This is Chat ADD. Welcome. Mansplaining as a service. I'm not weird. I'm irregular. I'm AI native. The beginning is here. We have an image for that one. Dun, 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 dun. The beginning is here. I recruited a non-technos to start learning AI. Awesome. That's super cool. How did it go? Did they resist? This is like a cult training center. Have you tried AI? Listen. Can I talk to you about ChatGPT? What did you say? Can I talk to you about ChatGPT? Did you say ChatGPT? Shh. They're listening. Siri's very jealous. Bing has gotten a little aggressive. But could I talk to you about ChatGPT? No resistance. She was all over it. Good. I think that word is getting out that this shit isn't going away, and it's time. It's time to start. This is not dissimilar to the early days of the web, where this little tool came along, and first it was the dweebs and the geeks, and then along came the lawyers and the accountants and the creative people, and they all started using this World Wide Webby thing. And then at some point it became inevitable. And, with the web it took 2 or 3 years. With this stuff, we're 10 months in now? Something like that. Steve-O, what's happening? I had a little bit of coffee earlier. It was not enough. I had a long day today. I got up I thought I was going to have a 7 o'clock meeting. I didn't. I had an 8 o'clock meeting, a 9 o'clock meeting, a 10 o'clock meeting, a 10:30 meeting, an 11:30 meeting. And I think that was it until 2. So I'm crispy. And they were big meetings. These were big, beefy, CEO type meetings. All right. Welcome, everyone. My name is Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. If you do me a favor, go ahead and share the... Hey, Lunashtick, what's happening? If you share the... Steve-O, I'm late because I was updating my phone again. Has anyone noticed, the past 3 days, I keep getting logged out of, Google apps and just everything I seem to be logging into. They're like, log in again. And, just use our convenient 17-factor authentication scheme. You're click here, then we'll text you on your phone, then we'll ask you if it was really you, and when you say yes, we'll bring you back here, and then we'll jump you to another browser where you're going to have to do a captcha, then you're going to have to come back here, scan your iris, and then we decide you can't get into your account because we don't recognize the machine. Really? That's how we're going? Anyway, that's not what this channel's about. Although this channel is about me bitching about stuff. It absolutely is. Don't let me deny that. because that would be inaccurate. This is a whining channel. We're Doug and Winnie Whiner. We've got diverticulitis. No! Why are they aggravating us? Exactly, Nancy. Nancy understands. Nancy's an irregular. Nancy understands the pain. Just, we didn't used to have passwords. And then when we had passwords, you had one password for life. It was like you had one password in a decade, and you put it on all your sites. And then the computer guys are like, it's not very secure. And I'm like, oh, what? I suppose I can't have it on a Post-it note on my monitor, too. Technically, no. And now we're at 17-factor authentication. Thanks, geeks. I'd rather have all of my data stolen. Anyway, back to what this channel's about. Yay, you did it. Yay. This is the AI Learning Lab. And my name's Shannon. I'm an entrepreneur. Believe it or not, I'm a CEO of an 11-and-a-half-year-old company called Storyvine, which is an automated video storytelling platform that, believe it or not, does not use AI to automatically edit, or as we call it, auto-magically edit videos. We use a more traditional assembly method, but it's still automated. And I've spent about the last 2 years deep diving into this generative AI stuff and the image stuff. And I was an entrepreneur in the early days of the World Wide Web. I co-founded this company called agency.com, which was one of the very first digital agencies. And holy shit, are we right back at the beginning of something? And these little tools here. So if you have not played with ChatGPT, if you are a ChatGPT newbie and you haven't done it, and you're like, I heard about it, but I'm not too technical, Kyle. I don't know how to tell you this, but I don't know much about the computers. If that's you, fine, doesn't matter. You're cool. Just go there right now. You know how to go to a URL, right? What's a URL? It's a website. Oh, a website. Yeah, just go there. And that's ChatGPT. That's the official ChatGPT website. Start playing. Just go there right now and start playing. And if you're like, but Kyle, I don't know what to say, go there. Prompts.chat. Prompts.chat will teach you how to talk to that thing. Oh, and Sam, I don't know if Sam's in here yet. Hey, Share Bear. Retropunk. The Whiner's SNL throwback. Damn, that takes me back. We're Doug and Winnie Whiner. We've got diverticulitis. Prompts.chat will teach you how these large language models work and how to talk to them. If Sam's here, I told Sam, the other place you might want to start. So one place to start is ChatGPT. The other place is Claude.ai. You could go to bard.google.com, but give that one a week. That one's going to get better soon. Claude.ai is also really good. Either of those top two are a place to start. Go there now. Go do that now. And then when we get rolling here, I'll answer some questions. If you have questions about AI, pop them in the comments below. All those hearts that you're seeing, those are the irregulars. They're people that show up here every night. They just harass me. It's just a never-ending... It's like reverse trolling. They compliment me. They hit the heart button, and I know there's something more to it. I know they've got an agenda, so I don't trust it. I don't trust it. I know there's an agenda. Not everything's a conspiracy, but just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you. You know what I'm saying? All right. Okay, so let's get going here. We're an odd lot. We are an odd lot. We are the irregulars. I am irregular. I am irregular. I am irregular. I am a turtle. All right. Let's see. Let's go answer some questions. Let's go do this. Oh, and then I'll sort of dig through. I got a bunch of shit I can show you here. Websites and things like that. We'll wait for some more people to get rolling. Evangelized ideogram to non-believers in the house. McAllistered my 21-year-old son. Now that, see, okay, so what Ted Looks at Life is talking about there is if you haven't played with these tools yet, you owe it to yourself to play with them long enough to have a Kevin McAllister moment, which is the Home Alone moment, where at some point it's going to blow your fucking mind. So Ted's been in here a lot for many weeks now. And so his son knows he's been, he's been on the TikTok, and he knows he's been talking about AI. And the son, I got 23-year-old twin boys, so I know how much they think they know, and how big their opinions are. So the fact that you Kevin McAllister, a 21-year-old, is quite impressive. That's awesome. That's great. Yeah, ideogram is quite something. It really is. So awesome. All right, let's see. Y'all check my article in Discord and Legal Ethics channel about Bard. Oh, did you write that, Lunastick? I thought you just were sharing that. That's super cool. Apple just updated 17.0.1. I hope that .1 is making their voice synthesis better. There's comic relief in that. Yeah, why are they aggravating us? All right, let's see. There's a brand for that. Another handsome shirt. Why, thank you. It's a lovely checkered pattern. It's classic, yet modern. Simple, yet elegant. Thanks. I went to the haberdasher. I also noticed I have some food right there. So it's lovely, and all I can see is that, something just went hit. Yeah, you can dress them up, but you can't take them out. It's also got cool, like the insides of the what are those cuffs are a different fabric. Huh? Swell, right? All right. AI Learning Lab and Fashion Center. Hair's not bad tonight. All right. How do you get AI on computer? I'm new to this. Okay, cool. So, welcome. I would encourage you change your name from user whatever that number is to like something clever. One of the things we do in here is we judge names, and so yours right now, 0.5 out of 10. But change it to something clever, like a nickname you want people to call you, or something even more clever where they have to figure it out. Anyway, so here's what you do. You don't need to put AI on your computer. These are just websites that you can just go play on. So chat.openai.com or claude.ai or bard.google.com. Just type it into your browser window, and here, let's go show you. Let's go do it right now. I'll go show you what I call parlor tricks. There's some parlor tricks you can do. Right, brother. We'll show the ChatGPT tag. All right. So, when you get to ChatGPT, you won't see all these things down here, but down the left-hand side, this is your prompt history. So these are all your different conversations with it. And then over here to the right, this is it. And you're like, but Kyle, that doesn't look like very much. Whatever do I do here? Exactly. So when you first join here and you're not paying for the advanced version, you just have access to one model. It's GPT 3.5. It's actually really good. It's very fast. These little things here are just suggestions. So this says like suggest some code names, create a workout plan, make a content strategy, design a database schema. Those are just suggestions. You can. I wonder if you reload the site if it changes them. I never really paid attention. Yeah, it does. Explain my popcorn pops. So you could just start clicking on those. Another thing you could do is, have it write you a country song. This is my go-to. Write a country song about a hedgehog named Larry. And how he passed too soon, but his younger brother Lenny still enjoys thinking about him. There we go. Kind of an inside joke from last night from DALL-E 3. And then it'll just write you a song. So if you haven't done this before, just go. This is chat.openai.com. And let's see if it did any good. It's generally pretty good. We gather around, folks. I got a tale to share about a little hedgehog named Larry with spikes and hair. He rolled through life with a twinkle in his eye, but one fateful night he had to say goodbye. Oh, Larry, you left us all too soon underneath that silver moon. Your memory lives on. So you can do that. It can do useful stuff as well. You could say, let's see, write me a professional business email trying to get a job selling hedgehogs at the local pet store. Boom. There's your letter. I hope this message finds you well. Oh, this is good. Look at this. I'm writing to you to express my strong interest in the sales position currently available at local pet store. As a lifelong animal lover and pet owner, I've developed a deep understanding and appreciation and care for well-being of animals, including hedgehogs. This is good. It's not just leading with, I got a hedgehog obsession. It's saying, including hedgehogs. So we're kind of planting the seed that we might be a little obsessed. It's good. It's solid. I'm excited about the opportunity to join the team at local pet store and share my knowledge and enthusiasm with customers looking to provide the best care for their pets. Some key qualifications: customer service excellence, passion for hedgehogs. You could do that. You could also say, write me a Python application that's a trivia game about hedgehogs. Sure. And then it writes you code. So the thing about ChatGPT, as I watch the screen when it writes code in particular, but even when it just writes English or a business letter, I've been deeply obsessed with this now since ChatGPT came out, and it still blows me away every time I see it. That's real code. It may or may not work, but if it doesn't work, you can put the error messages in and it'll tell you how to debug it. So you can write code with it, you can write words with it, you can write copy with it, you can create meal plans with it. So just start playing. The most important thing to do right now is don't be intimidated by it. There's nothing to install. You just go to these things and you start playing. And that's really the beginning. And basically, my hope and my advice is that you play with it long enough that it kind of breaks your brain a little bit. You have the Kevin McAllister moment. You have this moment where you're like, wait, it can do that? And then think about something that you're really good at or that you know really deeply and ask it about that. And you'll probably find that it's good at that too. I do find that if I don't do some serious prompt tweaking, the responses are often very can-sounding. Yeah, exactly. That's very right. Well, good. They still require some work. So, gray-haired gamer. So here's the deal with this stuff. As remarkable as the tools are, so first thing is GPT-4 is way better than GPT 3.5. And in fact, it's way better than essentially everything out there until further notice. Apparently, Gemini that's coming from Google is better than GPT-4, but we haven't heard anyone outside of Google say that yet. So that could just be marketing bullshit. But GPT-4 is really, really good. That said, all of these large language models, the way they work, they're almost the opposite of Google, where with Google, what Google's trained us to do over the past 20 odd years is put in as few words as possible. Just put in the minimum viable prompt, right? I want a car wash that's open on Saturday. And hope it doesn't get confused, right? These large language models, ChatGPT and Bard and Claude, all these things are the way they work, that they require a lot of context. So, and here's what that means. If you're working on the great American novel, one of the things you could do is say, you're a master literary coach, and you specialize in helping first-time authors, make the best novel that they can. And then I'm working on a novel, and it's about this basic topic, and it's a mystery, and it's a this, and it's a that. Can you help me structure my story? And it will say, sure, here's a bunch of ways you can structure your story. And then you can say, well, what are some other ways I could structure my story? And they'll throw that out. Here's 6 other ways you can structure your story. And then you could say, oh, I like number 2 and number 4. Could you combine those 2 story frameworks and give me a new story framework? And it'll do that. And you're like, oh, that's perfect. Here are some of the main characters of my story, and it'll support you and tell you how awesome you are. The more context that you wrap around that conversation, the better it gets. And so by the time you actually ask it to do something, it's kind of, I was going to say it's in the mindset. It's not actually thinking, but it is in a more narrowed focus in terms of the language world that it's drawing from. And so it'll get better as you give it more context. So don't feel with ChatGPT or with any of these tools like you have to get it perfect in a single prompt. In fact, my experience has been just the opposite of that. That it's more like a conversation with a really dim-witted intern who just happens to know everything. Right? Have you ever had an intern that they're just like clueless about the world, but they're really well educated? That's ChatGPT. It's a simpleton that knows fucking everything. and so you have to coach it and guide it and get it there. And you have to do that for every conversation. You're kind of starting this over. It does not maintain memory across chats. Each chat is its own little universe of language. The other thing you said, there's another thing that I think is an expectation thing, and you really only get this when you start playing with these things regularly. The expectation that you'll put in a single prompt and it will spit out something that's 100% good to go is essentially zero. It's essentially zero. My experience has been when I was weak at prompting, it could quickly get me to like 60 to 75%. As I got better at prompting, it could get me to like 75 to 85%. And now if I really put time into the context setting, I can get to like 85, 90%. The rest of it's on me. And I was working on an article for the past 2 days, actually, where I had a really cool idea. I went into GPT-4. I had it outline it for me. I did 2 iterations in ChatGPT-4. Then I went over to Claude, and I had Claude try to do it because Claude's got a longer memory. And I ended up getting so lost in it that now I've kind of got exploded piece parts of this idea. Like it kind of fucked me up because I didn't just stop when it was like decent and actually just write it on my own. I tried to have the machine do it better and better and keep refining it, and I kind of fucked it up. So sometimes you mess it up. But the important thing to do right now, these things are evolving very, very quickly. The important thing to do right now is just learn them, get curious about them, kind of open your mind to what's possible because they're going to get better and better and better. Let's see. Thanks to you, fast forward 2 months, I'm using regularly. That's great. You're utilizing regularly. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Urgy02. Urgy. Thank you. Lauren, I had a Kevin McAllister moment using Trace Journey in Discord to create vectors. Oh, what's Trace Journey? Is that an AI? That's cool. Look at that. That sounds like an AI. Because it sounds like someone took Midjourney's branding and they put Trace in front of it and said, hey, all you Illustrator people, Trace Journey. Turn Midjourney images into vectors with just one click. The bot replies to every Midjourney upscale with an options menu. Holy shit, we need to install this into the AI Salon. Whoa, is it good, Lauren? This is Kevin McAllister kind of territory, how it works. I don't need to know how it works. Join Trace Journey. Welcome to Trace Journey. Watch how it's done. Read the rules. Check the cool new features. Start here. We're thrilled. All right. I can't. I don't want to sort of figure this thing out on the fly, but holy crap, that's cool. This is so good. All right, Lauren. See, this is you see, listen, look, listen, people, listen. Zip it. Look. See this? See what that says? AI Learning Lab. We're learning. Lauren just shared a thing called Trace Journey. It looks flippin' amazing. I can't believe I haven't heard of that. I wonder how old it is. So here's the deal. When you generate images in Midjourney or in Stable Diffusion, for the most part, they're very low resolution. There's tools like Topaz Labs, Gigapixel, and Photo AI that will upscale it for you, or Stable Diffusion upscalers. But there's still bitmaps. A vector file, you can scale infinitely and it will look amazing. And so vector journey, yeah. Looks like it takes those images and makes them into vectors. That's pretty exciting. I'm working on a project right now that's actually really important for. So thank you, Lauren. Okay. All right, we'll go back to that. I don't want to install that live, but that looks super cool. As an irregular, I have extreme enthusiasm, ardor, zeal, and alacrity towards turtles. Well, why might that be, Mr. Winston? Mr. Winston Hardy. Name's Winston. Winston Hardy. Winston Hardy the Third. I like turtles. Okay, look. Watch for it. This is for you, Winston Hardy. I hope your name's Winston Hardy the Third. It would be so good. Winston Hardy. Winston Hardy the Third. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. Why am I not going to YouTube? Do I have bad internet? What's going on? Oh, you know what this is? I know what this is. Microsoft Edge is now crashing on me at least once a day. I switched my default browser to Microsoft Edge back in January because I got so excited about ChatGPT, and I haven't switched it back. I think I might switch it back. It's got too many memory leaks. Relaunching. It's gonna be so good. You know what we're going to do here? We've got 71 people in here. Let me see. Am I late? How late am I? Hey, Caverno, we just started, really. Did you see the email that Microsoft text-to-speech and examples? I just saw that not right before I got on, but right before I went out earlier. They look decent. I didn't have a chance to dig in. It creates SVG files. Okay, cool. What's it called again? It's called Vector Journey. Actually, you know what I'm going to go do? I'll be right there. Hold, please. Let's see. @ALLE. Oops. Can you take a look at Vector Journey and see if we can install the bot? Vector images from Midjourney ones! ! All right. I just delegated that to get that installed over on the AI Salon. So let me show you a couple of things here. So here's what I do. If you're new to this AI stuff, I'm going to show you, I don't know, 3 or 4 slides in a row, or 5, I don't know, that have a bunch of websites on them. If you're in a regular, you can just start tapping the screen, or go make a coffee or something. You've seen this before, but feel free to screenshot this. I'm not affiliated with any of these sites in any way. These are the sites that I think are worth you paying attention to right now. If you're brand new to this stuff, you don't need anything more than what's on screen right here. ChatGPT, maybe Claude. Or Claude, maybe ChatGPT. There is so much depth in all of these tools that you could spend the next 2 or 3 years exploring them. So don't feel like you need to do all this stuff. If you've been digging around for this stuff for a while, these are the sites that I think are interesting and why. So ChatGPT, interesting for a number of reasons. If you pay the $20 a month for the Plus subscription, you get GPT-4, you get plugins, which some of them are interesting. You get what used to be called Code Interpreter. It's now called Advanced Data Analysis, which is what it is. And you get access to the new shit. What's the new shit? They have a new thing coming out called DALL-E 3, which looks to be a Midjourney killer. So Midjourney is one of those image generation things. You're now going to be able to generate images natively within ChatGPT-4. So that's a big deal. And they're the originals. They're the one that started all this madness. Claude is a bunch of ex-OpenAI people. They started a company called Anthropic. Claude, you can put really long prompts in. Like you could put an entire 50,000 word novel into the prompt and ask it to write an epilogue for the book, and it'll just do it. It's really good. It's really interesting. Bard is Google's entry into this space. Bard's got some amazing additions in the past few days where, as long as you don't have a Google Workspace account, so basically if your work pays for Google, you're screwed. If you have an individual Google account, bard.google.com now has extensions where you can search across like Google Drive or all of your Gmail. It's going to get really interesting really fast. So these three are kind of the big three right now that I think are interesting. Prompts.chat will teach you how to talk to them. The kids table of these large language models, these are still worth playing with. You'll notice that Bing is grayed out. That's because Bing is not only at the kids table, but they had to turn their chair away from everyone else at the table because they've been a jerk lately. Bing's been jerky. And but Bing is connected to the internet. Oh, cool. Bing is connected to the internet. You can make images there. You can analyze images there. It's GPT-4. It's free. And they're going to be incorporating DALL-E 3 into that as well. That's Microsoft's version of ChatGPT. So DALL-E 3 inside of Bing is going to be really interesting. So that's worth playing with. Perplexity.ai is good for doing research. It does citations really well. And then labs.perplexity.ai, that's Meta's Llama 2 models. Those are good. Pi.ai is a company called Inflection. They just raised $1.3 billion. $1.3 billion for a chatbot. They're spending about $1 billion of that on 22,000 H100 GPUs. If you don't know what that means, they're buying a lot of machines. And then you got the other thing about Pi is our nickname here in the lab for Pi is Chatty GPT. Chatty GPT is really good if you download the Pi app, Pi, and then search for Pi Personal Assistant. You can put it into conversation mode and just start talking to it. So you're having a conversation with one of these GPT models connected to the internet. Fascinating, useful, interesting, wild. Vector Journey or Trace Journey? Oh, it might be Trace Journey. Sorry if I lied. Hang on. I think it's Trace Journey. Trace Journey. Trace Journey. Sorry for all the people that went. Steve-O, oops, he got that wrong. Steve-O, seriously, that's the first time I've ever gotten anything wrong, right? Back me up on this. I never get anything wrong. Right, Steve-O? Definitely have never made a mistake. It's well, except always. Listen, it's called Trace Journey. I don't know which one of you irregulars told me it was vector journey. That's wrong. That's just not right. So I'll correct it. I'll correct your mistake. It's Trace Journey. Trace Journey. And let's see. I called it vector journey in Discord as well. I'm a loser, baby, so why don't you sue me? Let's see. Trace Journey. Trace Journey. All right, there we go. Vector images from a mid-journey. Okay, perfect. Thank you for that. Sorry about that. Oh, that's so embarrassing. Oh, wait. Okay, we're here. Poe.com lets you play with a bunch of these different models, OpenAI, Claude, some other ones, and it's got a bot maker. You can make your own bot with Poe.com. So there's 7 large language models right now that I think are worth playing with. I think Bard is going to get... How many times have you attended the AI Learning Lab? Oh, that was a cool one. Edge is the worst. Edge is actually really good, except for the fact that it sucks. Just like Bing. That's why Bing's at the friggin' kids' table. With her chair, her name's Sydney, with her chair turned around with her back to the table. Okay. So those are the word ones. These 3 are the top 3. These 3 are the kids' table, but still worth paying attention to. Now, the pitches. Oh, God, I got to add Trace Journey to this. I got to play with Trace Journey first, but it looks fucking amazing. Okay. So these things. If you have not spent time making pitches with these here generative AI things, they're quite remarkable. So Midjourney is the best one for now. It's not going to be the best for long, but it's the best for now. This list is going to change pretty dramatically here relatively shortly. I think DALL-E 3 is going to be at the top of it, which, considering how bad DALL-E 2 is right now, is like a minor miracle. Ideogram is the one that lets you do pitches. I mean, words. So like AI Learning Lab, TikTok sent me to the bottom. I'm not a robot. Goodbye. AI Learning Lab. All these things were made with Ideogram. IDEOgram.ai. So it's just like, Stable Diffusion or any one of those, kind of image generation things, but it's super simple and it can do text. DALL-E 3 that's coming out can also do text, and it looks like it does it better than this, but this was not possible like a month ago, and it is now. So there you have that. What else do we have here? Leonardo.ai is a web-based interface for Stable Diffusion where you don't have to install anything. It's really, really good. Let me skip HEYGEN for a second. Adobe Firefly and Photoshop Generative Fill came out of beta about a week and a half ago, and are now good enough to use for government work. Like you can make commercial work with them now. You couldn't when they were in beta. You can now. Prompt Book will teach you how to talk to these things. And then I want to talk about HEYGEN. So HEYGEN is a tool that's kind of like D-ID or Synthesia, where you can do text to voice, and then you can animate those voices with a picture with like a person talking. You can make synthetic people. But one of their engineers kind of went rogue and did a little side project called Video Translate. So if you go to labs.heygen.com, click on Video Translate, and upload a video of yourself speaking English. And then pick a language and wait for the obligatory 15 minutes for it to process, and you'll get back something that's kind of like this. Now, what I did here was I took the English original video and the Italian that it translated, and I sort of intercut them back to back, so I have this sort of ping pong between me speaking English and me speaking Italian. So we've heard from a number of clients that modular content is important to them, getting more efficient with how we create content and how we leverage content.
Clienti dicono che il contenuto modulare è importante, rendendo più efficiente la creazione dei contenuti. Behind me, you see these little green boxes. That's how we think about stories at Storyvine. We break stories down into little atoms, right? Little modules. Dietro di me vedi queste piccole scatole verdi, così pensiamo alle storie. A Storyvine scomponiamo le...
So, yeah. So, if you noticed, it's not only synthesizing my voice, it's matching my tone and cadence, it's syncing the lips up, and it's reanimating my whole face. There's a little glitch, like, actually, if you notice right there, notice that my hand kind of disappears underneath my face. That's because they take the lower half of your face and they're synthesizing it and they layer it on top of the video. So if your hand passes here, you pass under your mouth, which is kind of funny. They'll fix that at some point. But this is a remarkable tool. I don't think they know what they have on their hands here. This will be the first of many. But that's HEYGEN.com. So that's that one. Let's see. How many times have you attended? There you go. There's a little poll for y'all. Go take that poll. Go do it. Wait. Oh, I would have done it, but it went away. Okay. So futurepedia.io, the thing at the bottom, that's just a big old directory of AI sites. Here's the thing. I've been invited by another creator who's a creative coach and a voiceover coach, and she's got a whole community of folks over there to do a workshop. I've also been asked to do a workshop for the AI Learning Lab. I have not put that together yet, but I have put together a workshop called the AI Launchpad. So this is an AI workshop for creatives. So it's a 3-part workshop over 3 different weeks, 1 day a week for 3 weeks, starting October 4th. So if you're interested in that, is today Friday? Yeah, today's the last day. She's got an early bird special there that ends today. So if that's something you're interested in, that's that. Then the other thing is, last December, I started a group called the AI Salon. And when I talk about the Discord and people, the irregulars doing stuff in the Discord, it's Trace Journey, not Vector Journey. JRC is schooling me in the Discord right now. You said it wrong. It's not Vector Journey. That doesn't even make sense. So the AI Salon, if you go there, there's no charge for it. We have meetups every other Tuesday. So this coming Tuesday is one of our salons, and then we have a Discord channel. And all of the links for that, this is the link tree for that. Storyvine's my company, and that's my handle. The other thing here is AI Learning Lab -TT. That's the YouTube channel. So these lives are archived there. And we're using Claude to write the YouTube descriptions and the chapterization. That took me about 50 hours of prompting to get that right. And then one final thing, and then we'll get back to answering questions, because I know you're all like, but Kyle, I asked a bunch of questions. Holy crap! There are 5,000 people in this live right now. Wait, hold. Let me time out. Hello, my name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. Normally we have between 35 and 70 people here. Now there's about 6,000 people in here. I don't know what fucking algorithm we just tripped on, but welcome. My name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. We talk about AI stuff in here. We have fun. I like acting like an idiot. I do occasionally cuss, so if you don't like that, I would jettison now. One of the questions you might be asking, and I get asked this a lot. Sir, what are your qualifications? I have none. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a co-founder and CEO of a company called Storyvine, which is an automated video storytelling platform. I've been an entrepreneur for years. I've started, 12 or 15 companies. In the mid-90s, I was a co-founder of a company called Agency.com, which was one of the very first digital agencies. And that was insane. And I was lucky enough to be part of the very beginning of something transformative like the World Wide Web at decently the ground level, and kind of rode that rocket ship up. We're at exactly the same spot right now. almost 8,000. I don't. There's 8.7 thousand people here. I have no idea what's going on, Frumple. I have no idea. We obviously we hit it. We hit the algorithm. 2023 is the new 1995. I've got a video on that. It's actually one of my pinned videos. I've got a 2-part video pinned to the top of the channel here, where I talk about how reminiscent what we're going through with generative AI right now is to the early days of the World Wide Web. So this channel is about that inflection point that started on November 30th, 2022, so 10 months ago, which was the launch of ChatGPT. If you've not played with ChatGPT, don't go there. Go, hold please. Let me make this bigger. Come on. There we go. Go to chat.openai.com. That's the official ChatGPT website. Just go there. You're going to love it. It's going to be fantastic. You may not love it. Doesn't matter. Just go there and start playing. And what can you do there? It's kind of like a Google search box. Just ask it to write you a country song. Ask it to write you a poem. Ask it to write you a meal plan that only features grapes and kumquats, and it will. So just go start playing with it. And one of the things we talk about in here, you owe it to yourself to explore these large language models long enough that you have what we call your Kevin McAllister moment, which is this moment. I had no idea it could do that. It can do that. And just start playing with this stuff. And then what this channel's about, pop any comments you have down below, and I'll do my best to answer them. Normally we have about 100 people in here or so. Right now we've got more than 8,000. So I likely won't be able to get to all the comments, but if you like what you're seeing here, tap the screen. Feel free to ask a question. I do have mods in here. The group that shows up here every night, so I do these things every night from like 8 o'clock Mountain Time. I'm in Denver until, I don't know, when I get tired, when my voice goes and my ass gets numb. And the irregulars are people who show up regularly. They will sort of pin any comments up here. So anyway, tell the people that they can. Oh, yeah. Oh, so another thing. Okay. So one of the things that you may be asking, or as you're flipping through TikTok and you see these annoying people and they're like, you can make money with ChatGPT. Those are the people we make fun of in here. Why is that? Because while you can make money with ChatGPT, you can make money with ChatGPT. ChatGPT is just a tool, right? So the question isn't how do you make money with ChatGPT? The question is, what's a problem you're trying to solve that ChatGPT could help you solve faster, better, cheaper, things like that? All right? So so just go play. And I also feel like we're entering an era, a very magical era. My nickname for the era that we're entering is the Great Renaissance, because these tools really allow you to amplify what you're good at. I am not a good drawer at all. I'm not a good illustrator. I'm really creative. I'm really visual. I'm really good at recognizing good shit, but I'm not good at creating it. Well, now I am. I was good with words. Now I'm better with words. So these tools really help you amplify things that might be kind of tangential to your core skills and do it in a really fun way. And so I think we're entering an era of a lot of reinvention, where people are going to kind of rediscover their passions and what they want and all that sort of stuff. What's the link from the voiceover lady? Oh, sorry about that. So hang on a sec. So I mentioned before to the folks, before lots of folks came in, I'm putting together a workshop. No, I've put together a workshop that I am being hosted on another creator's channel. Rhonda Phillips, she's a creative coach and a voiceover actress, and she's got a whole community there. So this is a 3-part workshop for creatives called the AI Launchpad. And workshop 1 that starts on October 1st is just an overview of here's what's going on in AI, here's what's possible. Workshop 2 is applying AI to your business. and workshop 3 is advanced, kind of advanced stuff like voice synthesis and animation and video and all that sort of stuff. So it's going to be a really interesting 3 days. It happens over 3 weeks on, I think, Wednesday nights. rondasvoice.com/events is how you can find that. So go check that out. And again, there's a lot of new people in here because there's significantly more people in here. I'm a little caught off guard because there's 8,000 people in here. We normally have about 100, sometimes 50, sometimes 30. So welcome. If you have not tried ChatGPT, go there right now. Just go there now. You're like, but you're an old man talking about AI. Why should I trust you? What are your qualifications, sir? I want to know. I want to know. Just ignore all that. I have no qualifications. I'm completely unqualified. Go to chat.openai.com and start playing. If you don't know what to say there, if you're kind of confused about what these large language models or ChatGPT is, all that sort of stuff, that's ChatGPT. That's the official website. Go to that thing down there, prompts.chat. That's a little primer that will tell you how these things work, and it gives you like a whole bunch of prompts that you can literally copy and paste into ChatGPT and get it to do stuff. So just go start playing. Have fun. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to answer some questions, and then, welcome everybody. All right, my husband thinks I have lost my mind. I drop everything to be a regular help. I love this. Yeah, I'm sorry. I know. Listen, it's like, what did you do Friday night? Oh, I don't want to talk about it. Why not? I don't want to talk about it. Well, what did you do? I kind of watched a TikTok channel. Well, that's okay. Did you watch it for a few minutes? No, I watched it for a couple hours. Well, what is it? I don't know. It's some old guy talking about AI. That's what this is. So if you're young here, if you're thinking of doing the troll, or if you've already done it, oh, isn't that cute? The geriatrics teaching each other how to use computers. We've already heard that one. You gotta be more creative with your trolls than that. So anyway, okay, let's get rolling and answer some questions. This is cool. Okay, let's see. You're a great actor from, what was that? New Jack City? I was in New Jack City, yes. But I didn't, the TikTok just jumped me away from your comments. Oh, wait, there it is. Was it? You're a great actor from New Jack City. I am. I still get checks. In fact, I think I have one here beside me. I have a residual check, which these things are collector's items. This is a residual check from SAG-AFTRA for New Jack City for $9.31. This is back when they paid actors residuals. I did that. I filmed New Jack City, well, whenever the fuck that was, 1991, 2? I don't know. I don't remember when it was. I'm still getting residuals from that. My sis called me to help prep for a job interview. I told her to use Pi. Oh, that's a great idea. That's a great idea, Crib Bruno. So if you have not played with Pi, good Lord, there's 10,000 people in here. Hey, everybody. I'm a little shooketh. My name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. Welcome. If you have any questions about AI, pop them in the comments below. What character did you play? I played white boy number 1. Not number 2. I was the first white boy. That was my character name. This was in a time where no one was triggered. This was in an era before people got triggered. So you were allowed to write a character called White Boy Number 1. Let's see. What was I going to show? Oh, I was going to go here. If you have not played with Pi, it's another interesting one to explore. So you can go to pi.ai. You can go there. Or ideally, go get the Pi app. So if you go to the Apple Store or Google Play, search for Pi, P-I, and then search Personal Assistant. It's from a company called Inflection, so make sure you get the right one. And then it's like chatting with ChatGPT, just a different company, but you can put it into talk mode. There's a little like phone icon. Hit the phone icon. And then you just talk, and you don't have to submit or anything. You talk, and when you stop, it listens and then answers you, and you can pick one of 6 voices. It's been designed to be conversational, to be really interesting and good at conversation. So go play with it, because it's not. If you've been hanging out on the channel regularly, you'll understand that my experience with Siri and Siri lately. Siri has gotten a little jealous lately, and she invades our conversation a lot. It's not like Siri or Alexa. It's just a very different thing, because it's connected to the internet and it's ChatGPT. You can literally ask it anything. You can ask it to teach you stuff. You can ask it to make up a game. You can ask it about local events that night. You can ask it to coach you through something. I had my battery shorted out on my car one night, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I got to do, and I was like, oh, hey, thank you very much. Let me try Pi. And I opened this stupid chatbot, and I'm like, hey, I have this Ford Flex, and it's acting kind of funny. What could this be? And it said, well, let me troubleshoot with you. And it asked me a bunch of questions, and it gave me 2 or 3 different possibilities, and I ended up troubleshooting, that I had a dead battery with it. But it's just wild. So go play with that. Go try that. Okay. 10K with mostly Vietnamese names and comments the same. Wait. And comments same as an irregular day. Everything in this channel is irregular. I don't know what happened, but I'll take it. Listen, whether you're from, we have people from all over the world come in here. So we regularly have folks from Australia, from Singapore, from the Philippines, from Europe. So welcome one, welcome all. Something amiss? There might be something amiss. I don't know. We got hacked in a positive way. I'll tell you a funny thing. So in the early days, I was messing, not in the early days of crypto, but about 3 years ago, I was trying to get into crypto, and I bought some insurance crypto coin that some friend of mine said, oh, you should buy this, you'll make a fortune. And I invested $150 in it, and then I parlayed that $150 into like $75 6 months later. So I heard of another crypto coin, so I took my $75 and I bought this other crypto with it. And then at some point it said, claim your uni here. And so I clicked this pink button, and then I claimed my uni. I didn't know what I was doing. And then I went back into my wallet, and the balance in my wallet went from $75 to $12,000. And I had been airdropped 400 Unicoins from Uniswap when I bought that original thing. And I thought I was hacked, but I'm like, but I've got too much money. I was like, this doesn't make any sense to me. But it was an airdrop, and I sort of learned about crypto and how stupid and weird it is. I typed fluent Viet. They're all here to learn about AI from an expert. Well, what are your qualifications, sir? What are your qualifications? I don't think HEYGEN does Vietnamese yet. The only thing even close to an Eastern language is Indian. It does Hindi, but it doesn't do Japanese, Chinese, Vietnamese, any of that stuff yet. But it will. It'll get there. I added viewers to you because I like you and your AI evangelism. Oh, was that you, James Kamau? Did you do this? Are you responsible for this? Well, you're friggin' awesome. That's awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm a little. This has never happened. That's really awesome. So thank you for that. Okay, let's answer some more questions. It's crowded in here. You're standing on my foot. Oh man. Hey, all your 10,000, go read my stuff on AI on Medium. Yeah, go read Kavruno's thing. If you let's see, I'm trying to think what might be good to show here. There's some new people here, so I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna keep these things on screen right now. If you're brand new to AI, if you're trying to figure out like, where do I start with this? What do I do? I don't know what to do. I'm very confused. AI seems very exciting. Everyone's talking about it. What is it? If you're anywhere in that neighborhood, cool, welcome. Go to chat.openai, or Claude.ai. Either one of those top two sites. The top one is the official ChatGPT website. I'm not affiliated with it in any way. I'm not making any money off this. I don't care. Go to chat.openai.com or go to claude.ai and just start interacting with them. Just ask it to write you a song, ask it to write a poem, ask it to write a marketing plan, ask it to write some HTML for your website or Python. Have it write you a Python application. It'll just do it. In fact, let me go do a little bit of what I call parlor tricks here. Let's jump over and do that because we have a bunch of new people here. So one of the things we like to do here at the AI Learning Lab is deliver some value. We like to deliver value for money. And you're like, but Kyle, you don't charge anything. Exactly. So we like to give you at least $0 in value. All right, so we're going to go to ChatGPT. If you've never been to it, it kind of looks like this when you start. You say log in. Am I in Chrome? Oh no, I relaunched Edge. That's what's going on. And oh, this is a joy. Google's asking me to re-log into everything. Hold, please. You probably just watched me type my password. There's all my security's gone. Yeah, way to go. How'd you get hacked? Oh, well, I was an influencer for a while there before they took everything. Google's new 17-factor authentication. Okay. As I was saying, so this is ChatGPT. If you've never seen it before, the interface is relatively simple. Down the left-hand side, this is kind of your prompt history. So this is your different conversations. This is the interface. I have this little plus icon here because I pay $20 a month for it. If you don't pay the $20 a month, that's fine. You get ChatGPT 3.5, which is still really good. It's very fast. And then it's basically just kind of like a Google search box, but you can do kind of anything in here. So you could say to it, let's see. I think Siri might have taken over Yep, it did. See, I told you Siri was going to be a pain in the ass here. Let's see. Escape, hold. All right, I'll just type it. Write me a country song about a big crowd showing up to my party. Welcome, everybody. There's 11,000 people in here. So it just wrote a song. You see how fast it's writing. Now, it wrote a long one too. It understands what songs are. So here's a verse, here's a pre-chorus, here's a chorus. There's verse 2. So let's see, it's a country song. Well, I sent out the invites on a hot summer day, said, y'all come over, we're going to rock it this way. I cleaned up the barn. I don't know, I need to be doing this with a southern accent. I cleaned up the barn, put some hay on the floor, strung up some lights, and unlocked the door. So it can rhyme, it can write songs. I could also say, what did I do earlier? Let's see. Write me a business letter that applies for a job organizing parties that consistently get more people than were invited. And there's your professional business letter. Boom. Then I could also say, write me a Python application that will allow me to manage all of the people that show up to my party. It'll describe it. It'll then write the code. You can then take this code and throw it into Replit or some sort of program like that. So if you haven't played with ChatGPT, just play with it long enough until you have what we call your Kevin McAllister moment, which is this moment from Home Alone. So So it will at some point blow your mind. And if you haven't seen the Matrix movies, the red pill, blue pill moment, the blue pill moment is you take the blue pill and everything stays the same. I feel like this AI stuff's like that. There's a tipping point where you realize that these tools like ChatGPT and the generative image tools and things like that are significantly more powerful than you had any fucking clue about. And it happens to a lot of the people that are in here sending 5K. Thank you, Dunkaroo. How do you send 5,000 people? Oh wait, now we're down to 3,000. So 5,500 or so just evaporated, or 6,500 just evaporated. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, today's been a really weird. It's been a weird day where it kind of started out in this sort of off kind of weird energy, but then we had a bunch of really cool things happen. I'm going to show you something here, since we have so many people in here. One of the sites that I have, this list, this might be something worth screenshotting. This is a list of the image generation tools that I think are worth your time to play with. Again, I'm not affiliated with any of these. So Midjourney and Ideogram are the two that are kind of the biggies right now, along with Stable Diffusion. So Leonardo.ai kind of represents the Stable Diffusion world. And then Adobe Firefly and Photoshop Generative Fill down below there. All of those are really good ones. This tool, HEYGEN, right here. Really interesting company. They spun this company up, I think, with seed funding and like 50 people. One of their engineers did a side project called HEYGEN Video Translate. And HEYGEN Video Translate does this.
So we've heard from a number of clients that modular content is important to them, getting more efficient with how we create content and how we leverage content. Clienti dicono che il contenuto modulare è importante, rendendo più efficiente la creazione dei contenuti. Behind me, you see these little green boxes. That's how we think about stories at Storyvine. We break stories down into little atoms, right? Little modules. Dietro di me vedi queste piccole scatole verdi? Così pensiamo alle storie. A Storyvine scomponiamo le storie in atomi, moduli piccoli.
So how you do this? I'll show you how to do it. I can't, people. The future's here. The future's here. Nothing is sci-fi anymore except time travel. I mean, honest to God, like we've had the pandemic, and now we have talking robots. And they do stuff for us, and now we've got the Babel fish thing. So let me show you how this thing works. So the company is called HEYGEN, HEYGEN, and then you go to labs.heygen.com. And then one of the buttons in there is video translate. And you basically just drop a video file. I can't start the poll because a comment is pinned. So unpin the comment and try that again. There we go. So let me sign in here. Hold, please. So basically, you just upload an English file or whatever your native language is, and then you select from. Let me see how many they have. Oh, they've added some. Mandarin, Portuguese, Korean. If we have a bunch of Vietnamese folks in here, they don't have Vietnamese, but how about Mandarin or Japanese? Let's have me. Should I do Japanese or Korean? What's the vote? Or Turkish or Mandarin? Mandarin, Japanese, or Korean? I feel like me talking any one of those is going to be hilarious. So let's go ahead and do this. Let me go grab. Where is it? Hold, please. Let me go find a file. So downloads. Those are those. Okay, here we go.
So for the meeting on the 23rd, here's what it's going to look like.
That's video 4? Yeah, I think that's one I haven't done yet. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to close this, we're going to close this, we're going to close this. What's the vote? Mandarin? All right, we'll do Mandarin. So I'm just going to drag my file there. I'm going to select Mandarin. This should be a trip. You can choose to translate audio only. They give you 2 credits for free, and you can do a video of up to you can do a video of up to 5 minutes long. That's good. All right. And so it's going to upload it there, and that'll process for a bit. So I'll keep checking back on that. So pretty soon we'll have this guy talking Mandarin. So yeah. Anyway, if you're new here, and a lot of people are new here, there's 6,000 folks in here right now. It keeps oscillating between what's it saying there? Upgrade to skip the line. Estimated position 79,000. So the how do I get back to the home page here? I guess I just go to HEYGEN. HEYGEN. There's pricing. That's not the labs pricing. So I think it's about $60 a month for 30 credits, up to 5 minutes each, and then it's like $179 a month for 60 credits, up to 20 minutes each. So it's not super cheap, but considering what it does, the fact that it does, translation at this level.
That's how we capture the content. But because we have them in this organized, structured way, that approach can be used for everything from how you capture original content with traditional video production to how you leverage these assets to create social media content, things like that. So, così catturiamo il contenuto. Organizzati e strutturati così funziona per tutto, dalla cattura o produzione di contenuti con la produzione video tradizionale all'utilizzo di questi asset per creare contenuti sui social media.
Right. So that's what that thing does. So considering the quality that it's generating that kind of content with, it's pretty remarkable. The fact that I'm 79,000th in line, I don't think we're going to be able to show. We're going to be able to show me speaking Chinese anytime tonight. Let's see, labs. HEYGEN. Well, let's see how fast it's moving. It's funny. I watched a live with the co-founder. Yeah, I'm still 79,000th in line. I watched a live with the co-founder. He basically said their lead engineer, all he's spending his time doing is, oh, thank you very much for what is that? That's a cute little heart. A little heart in the hand. It's so cute.
You can make money with ChatGPT.
We're back up to 10,000 folks. Welcome, everybody. My name's Kyle. I can't even speak my name anymore. Normally in these lives, we have, I don't know, on a good night, 150, 200 people, and all of a sudden there's 10,000 people in here, and it's been fluctuating wildly. So I assume, yay! Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Ted Looks at Life. So if you're new here, this is all about exploring generative AI. I'm an entrepreneur. I've started 12 or 15 companies. If you've not played with ChatGPT, go check out that, chat.openai.com. That's the official ChatGPT website. If you haven't played with it, just go there. Just go there now. If you don't know what to do, if you don't know what to say, go to prompts.chat. That's a little primer that will tell you how to talk to these large language models. It's quite remarkable. It will blow your mind. In fact, one of the things we talk about in here is you should play with ChatGPT until you have your Kevin McAllister moment, which is, if you remember the movie Home Alone, that moment. At some point when you're using these generative AI tools, something will snap inside you and you'll be like, oh my, oh, I didn't know it could do that. And then you're like, but it can't do what I do. It certainly can't do what I do. And then it does what you do. And then you go, oh my, this is something different. And so these things are something different. These three in particular are my top three. This is sort of what I call the adult table of the large language models. ChatGPT, Claude, and Bard. Bard just got dramatically better. It got this thing called extensions, which is really interesting. It's about to get a major upgrade with something called Gemini. So all three of these are kind of in a war right now for being the best. And then there's another group here that I call the kids table that includes Bing, Perplexity.ai, Pi, and Poe, which are also interesting to play with. And then you've got, oh, thank you very much, Winston. I appreciate that. Fireballs aplenty. Dang, Winston, you're the best. I appreciate that. Thank you all very much. That's really awesome. ChatGPT is my assistant. I call her Cynthia. That's awesome. In fact, what's your name? The Velvet Emeralds. I got to say, so one of the other things we do here in the AI Learning Lab is we rate names. The Velvet Emerald, 10 out of 10, solid name. Don't come in here with some half-assed, thought of name. You come in here with a name like the Velvet Emerald, it's awesome. 10 out of 10 on the name. What she talked about there is, ChatGPT is her friend, and she talks to this thing. A really good way to think about how to interact with ChatGPT is much less like you've got to write the perfect prompt and get the perfect answer, but much more like it's a conversation. You'll notice that ChatGPT it's funny. One of the images we have for the Learning Lab is, let's see, I think it's the other direction. Hold. There. Is this little yellow lab, or like a golden retriever. ChatGPT is very much like a golden retriever. It's just always there for you. It's very supportive. You ask it to do something. It's like, sure, here's this. And then you tell it, no, that's not very good. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. That wasn't what you wanted. And it'll try again. And it'll just keep trying again. And the more you go back and forth with it, the better it seems to get. And the nature of how this technology works is one of the reasons that happens. In fact, what might be kind of fun here, if you're down for it, I guess, I don't know how to do this. If you're down for it, tap the screen, make the hearts like really fly. If you want me to show you how ChatGPT actually works, it's a bit of a rabbit hole, but in like the next 5 minutes, I can teach you how ChatGPT actually works. Is that something you'd be interested in? Is that like a thumbs up? Good? Yes? All right. I seem to be getting some, I wish he'd say llama. Come on, llama. Llama. I like llamas. Llamas is tasty. I like Larry, and I like Lenny, and I like Lucy, and I like llamas. Yes, Winston with the llama. Thank you very much. I am also a Pavlovian creature where if someone puts a cowboy hat on me, I just talk stupid. But let me show you something here. Is this? Yes. What I'm looking for. It is. All right. And is this now in a window? Yes, it is. Oh, everything's coming together. Everything's coming up roses. All right. So we'll leave the little AI Learning Lab in the background because this is kind of fun. Okay. So how does ChatGPT work? It works like this. We'll start with some definitions. So what is the GPT in ChatGPT? The G stands for generative. The P stands for pre-trained. The T stands for transformer. What does all of that mean? It actually doesn't mean much. I'll try to break it down. Generative means that these tools are actually generating original content. One of the misconceptions about them is that they're copying and pasting from copywritten work. It's not how they work. But just know that it's generating content. The pre-trained means these machine learning models have been pre-trained on essentially as much of the internet as OpenAI could get their hands on, or these other companies. So it's basically, you don't have to bring your own data. It's already been trained on as much data as they could get into the thing to train it. And then the T it stands for transformer. That's a piece of technology that Google invented in 2017. That is the thing that allowed these tools to be trained on these massive data sets like all of the internet. Okay? So that's what GPT means. You might also hear the phrase LLM or large language model. That just, ChatGPT is a large language model. We human beings are a large language model. Everything goes in, we process it. It's all words. That's how we make meaning out of stuff. These are modeled on how our brains are connected and how they work. And that's why they call them large language models. There's a thing called the latent space. So now we're getting into some of the geeky stuff, and this is where it gets kind of fun. So what you're looking at here to the right, this big white box with all the scattered dots on it, is a 2D representation of mathematical vector space. So you have an X and a Y, and then you have all these dots that are clustered together. Well, what are those? Well, each dot represents a vector, which is just a mathematical number that's tied to a word. And then they're clustered together by semantic meaning. So I'll give you a specific example. We have the dog up here, right? You might have one of those clusters of words that has the word dog in it, and that's like those, fluffy things that we pet and, love us every day. But you might have the word dog in another cluster where it's like the guy that did his girl wrong, he's a dog, right? So individual words can have lots of different meanings. So these clusters of meanings are in this mathematical vector space. This is dramatically oversimplified, right? This is 2D space with, I don't know, whatever that is, 500 dots or 1,000 dots. The actual vector space is 1,000 dimensions or just a ridiculous amount of dimensions. It's hard to comprehend, and it's billions of words or trillions of words and all these different things. So how does it actually work? It works like this. And this is, the more you learn about this, the more remarkable it is that these things do what they do. When you type a prompt into ChatGPT, it's actually predicting what the next most probable word is in the response over and over and over and over. And so here's an example. So if I type in a prompt that says, the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy blank, as humans, if you've heard that phrase before, we know that the answer is dog, because our large language model hears that, quick brown fox jumps over the lazy blank, and we do pattern recognition, and dog pops into our head, and we know it's dog. Well, the large language models do something similar. What they do is they kind of, they ignore all the stuff that's not, maybe animals or whatever might be in that vector space. So some of these vectors have a higher probability than the others. And within this semantic cluster, there's one of them that has the highest probability. And if you look at what that is, it's actually just a big long string of numbers, which is its location in vector space. And that long string of numbers is tied to the word dog. There's a table somewhere that connects those two. And then it sticks the word dog into that sentence. There are some other words it could have been, but dog is the one it chose. And so when you watch ChatGPT write you a whole long business letter or write all this code or write all of this stuff, that's what it's doing for, every single word, or in some cases, it might be like little small groups of words, but it's doing an original word, one at a time when it writes all that stuff. So that's how the things work. This is also why one of the things that people will sort of give ChatGPT a bad time because it hallucinates, it lies, right? You ask it to give you a citation, and it gives you a citation, and then that citation is fake, and you're like, wait, what happened? Why is it not right? Why did it lie to me? Is it evil? No, it's it doesn't know what it wrote. It has the cognitive awareness of a calculator, because it's technically a calculator. You type in a prompt, it turns it into a mathematical probability, and then that number in vector space is tied to a word, and it puts that word in there. It doesn't know what that word was. And so it's literally just typing a bunch of words. We as human beings look at what it writes and say, what it's writing is so human that it must be sentient. It must know what it's doing. it knows probabilistically what it's doing, but it doesn't have any consciousness of what it said. And that's why it will sometimes predict something that looks correct, but it's not. It's also the reason that ChatGPT and these tools, the more context that you give them, the better it gets. So anyway, since we have a lot of new people here, welcome. My name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please go subscribe to the channel. If you like it, great. Follow the channel. I mean, I try to do these lives every night. You can ask the irregulars, the people that are here on a nightly basis. I haven't missed a night in I think 3 months or something like that. Much to the consternation of my family sometimes. But they know this is important, and I think this is important. And I come in here to just try to demystify this stuff. I think we're living in an incredibly rare moment in history where we're at the very beginning of a transformative technology that's going to change almost everything about how we work and even what work is and where the value in work is, all that sort of stuff. And so this channel is really just about demystifying it, talking about it, answering questions about it, things like that. Ion China says, maybe sentient intelligence is a form of real-time statistical inference. Well, so that's actually a really good point, Ion China, one of the things that happens when people are confronted with ChatGPT and they're like, well, it can't do what I do. They get very defensive. It can't do what I do. And it does. It's very possible that the way our brains work are kind of a more sophisticated version of what these things are doing. And scientists don't know enough about how they do what they do that maybe our brains are a simplified version of what this is doing. I think it's the other way around. But these things are going to get incredibly sophisticated. Thank you for that. It's a really interesting point. Emilio's wife, I don't think they have all irises. I don't know what that's in reference to. I don't think they have all irises. Wow, the chat feed has slowed down again. No, there's 13,000 people in here. Welcome everyone. My name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab, and this is the AI Learning Lab. If you're wondering what are my qualifications, I'm an entrepreneur and love just hanging out and talking about this AI stuff. And do it every night. Thank you very much, Aaron. I appreciate that. Let me pop down here and see some questions. I didn't bring enough gum for the whole class. Yeah, exactly. Ted looks at life. He brings chiclets. Do you remember chiclets? Ted, he's an older fellow like myself. He brings chiclets every night for all the people that hang out here at the AI Learning Lab in the nightly lives. But he only brings like 100 chiclets, and he's normally got more than enough. So I don't know what's happening. But the number's fluctuating a lot, so I have no idea. Here's another possibility. Like, I haven't really looked at the actual comments. It's possible not that many people are actually watching and there's some sort of TikTok glitch, but welcome if you're new here. Let's see. Hi from Texas. Hello. Michelle. Oh, Michelle. Michelem. Hi from Texas. Hello from Denver. How are you? All right. It's 10 p.m. Friday night. Beautiful Denver, Colorado. Welcome to Denver, Colorado. The home of the Rockies. The home of the Nuggets. The home of joggers and bikers everywhere. What time we got? 10:05. All right, we're still good. Here's a little poll. I'll just pop a poll up there. Go ahead and take that poll. I don't know if those things are working or how they work. Cool. Say it again in German. Let me go see what's going on with the one I did in Chinese. Reload. Oh, it's really slow. So I was in 79,204, and now I'm in, or at 223 or something like that. Now I'm at 204. So this is probably going to be overnight. if you're new here, there's a tool called HEYGEN that has a video translate beta, like a proof of concept, that is quite remarkable. Here, I'll show you. So this is a video of me from a video I did last February, and I intercut this with me speaking English followed by me speaking Italian. This is from HEYGEN Labs.
So we've heard from a number of clients that modular content is important to them, getting more efficient with how we create content and how we leverage content. Clienti dicono che il contenuto modulare è importante, rendendo più efficiente la creazione dei contenuti. Behind me, you see these little green boxes. That's how we think about stories at Storyvine. We break stories down into little atoms, right? Little modules. Dietro di me vedi queste piccole scatole verdi, così pensiamo alle storie. A Storyvine scomponiamo le storie in atomi, moduli piccoli. And that's how we capture the content. But because we have them in this organized, structured way, that approach can be used for everything from how you...
So anyway, so that's quite remarkable. Anyway, their servers are very far backed up. And again, the company here is HEYGEN. Hang on a sec. That company right there, HEYGEN, is the one that's got this video translate. labs.heygen.com/video-translate is how you get to it. It's looking right now like the backlog of free rendering is so far backed up that it's like barely moving. So my instinct is if you want anything turned around decently quickly, you're probably going to have to pay for a subscription. For what it does, it's pretty remarkable. It's not that expensive, but it ain't cheap. It's like, I think the cheapest subscription for the translate tool is $60 a month. So anyway, that's what that one is. That's what did that Italian thing that I just showed you there. Dude, you usually only have 60 people in here. Thousands and thousands. Congrats. I love rewatching these. Thank you. Oh my goodness. There's 14,000 people here. Welcome everyone. My name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. I have no idea what's going on tonight. I don't know whose butt we kissed or what algorithm we tripped over, or someone came in and said they sent 5,000 people our way. I didn't know that was a possibility. Maybe it is. I do not know, but we have a lot of folks here tonight. I'm an entrepreneur. Let me flip this way. I'm an entrepreneur. My current gig is I'm the co-founder and CEO of a company called Storyvine, which is not an AI company, although we are completely architecting our product vision with AI. And that's really exciting. We've been around for 11 and a half years. We do a lot of work in healthcare and pharma. Alexander Wright says that Italian thing was awesome. Isn't that amazing? I mean, it's amazing. It's not... My friend Ritesh Patel, he's an agency guy. I've worked with him for years. He and I worked together back at agency.com in the early days of the web, and now he's doing a lot of healthcare marketing stuff. And he's been doing some of these HEYGEN videos and uploading them to LinkedIn. And it's like every time I see one of his videos, he does it in a different language. He did one in Chinese, he did one in Spanish. And at the beginning of it, he says my name. He says, my friend Kyle Shannon told me about this thing. And so every time it's in another language, I hear my name. I hear Ritesh say my name in some other language. And it's just a trip. It's just a trip. So, that's what's going on with this stuff. Oh, it's you, buddy. Hey, James, you're the one doing this? I don't know how you're doing this, but this is awesome. Thank you very much. If you're new here, I am normally not flustered. I am normally just a smarmy smartass that acts like he has it all together. But not tonight. It's just crazy. You people are just nuts. You're just nuts. I'm telling you, you're crazy. All of you, from one to the other to the other. Anyway, if you haven't played with ChatGPT, please go there right now. chat.openai.com. And if you're like, oh, is he just making money off ChatGPT? Is this just him making a commission? No, I'm not. I do this for free. I'm here every night. Ask the irregulars, the ones that are tapping the screen and answering other people's comments below and pinning the questions and modding here. I come here every night. These are really just here more as a public service announcement. The whole idea here is to demystify these things. So go to ChatGPT or go to Claude or even Bard. All three of these are worth you playing with long enough until you have a moment where you realize, oh my God, these are different. Something's different here. These are not just fancy Google. They're deeply profound. They're going to change a lot. We are about to get a series of major announcements over the next 2 months that these things are even going to get better and better and better. November 1st is general availability for Microsoft's Copilot being available within Office 365. What that basically means is that ChatGPT will be built into all of the Office suite within Microsoft products. Microsoft Word, Slides, Excel, all of that stuff. Google announced the same thing for their Office products 2 weeks ago. So these tools right now are kind of off to the side. Like you go to ChatGPT, you go to that thing. They're very, very, very quickly going to be integrated in all of the tools we're already using. So if you are not starting to get curious about these and get up to speed and understand what they do, the time is now. So here's what I'm going to do. Since there's so many new people seem to be rolling in every few minutes. I'm going to just go play with. Okay. So this is ChatGPT. Down the side here, you've got, this is my chat history. This is conversations I've had with this thing. And oh, thank you very much. That is lovely. The stars, they were falling from the sky. It was remarkable. So in fact, form a union. Yeah, exactly. We're gonna need to do something because work is about to change pretty dramatically. Okay. So there's a couple of different modes of ChatGPT. If you pay the $20 a month for their what's called their Plus subscription, you get GPT-4. You also get plugins and you get advanced data analysis. Advanced data analysis is absolutely fucking mind blowing. I'll show that because there's something there. We may lose a lot of viewers, but that's okay because if I were you, I would hang around and just see this. If you haven't played with ChatGPT yet, that's if you pay the $20. Even if you don't pay the $20, GPT 3.5 is really, really good. So it's just like a Google search bar. It's just a bar. You can type anything into it. So we're going to type into it. Let's see. Write me a social media marketing plan for my car wash business called Shiny Turtle. Now, I didn't really give it any context whatsoever, but there's a marketing plan. And you're like, but Kyle, it's writing it so fast, it can't possibly be good. And then we'll scroll to the top here and we'll just go look at some things. All right, creating a social media marketing plan for your car wash business. Shiny Turtle can help you increase brand awareness. So step one, start with your goals and objectives. Great. So it gives us some goals and objectives. We may or may not like those. Know your target audience. These are right. Choose your social media platforms. Create compelling content. Develop a content calendar. Engage with your audience, right? So good basic stuff. Now, if you're like, well, this seems like a little obvious and this and that, the only context I gave it was write me a social media marketing plan. If I gave it a lot more context, like I said, hey, you're a social media master and you excel in helping small businesses drive more traffic to their business. And my business is called Shiny Turtle, and we specialize in this kind of thing and that kind of thing. I can't start the poll because the whatever you call it, someone a message is pinned. So unpin the message and then I can start it. There you go. So this would get much better over time. And so even here, I'm going to say, write me 10 catchy ad headlines for Shiny Turtle that will get people to want to try it out. Certainly. Unleash the shines today, Shiny Turtle Car Wash, where clean meets gleam. Roll in dirty, roll out shiny. Experience the turtle magic today. Revitalize your ride with Shiny Turtle. We make cars sparkle. Dirt's worst nightmare, Shiny Turtle Car Wash. So I missed my calling and voiceovers, apparently. But it can do that kind of stuff. What else can it do? We can say, make me a table comparing the different kinds of car waxes I can use on my car that accentuates the advantages of each. I don't know. That wasn't good English, but that's okay. But look, it's making us a table. What are the kinds of wax? I don't know. I didn't know this going in. Carnauba wax. Here's the advantages of it. Here's the ideal uses. Here's the application frequency. Synthetic polymer, ceramic coating, and spray wax. Oh, and paste wax. So it can do tables. I could also say, write me a Python application that helps me calculate the profit for my car wash business. It'll explain what it does. It'll write the code. So this is ChatGPT. This is way more than ask ChatGPT about dividend yielding stocks. James, for you, anything. Okay, so let me start a new chat, and I'm going to go to ChatGPT 4 because it might do it better. It'll be slower, but it'll be better. So what did you say? Dividend. Can you pin that message again? If you dividend yielding stocks. Okay. I want you to act as an expert stockbroker that works for Merrill Lynch and deeply understands the market. Period. I'm trying to understand dividend yielding stocks and why I might consider them in my investment portfolio. Is that something you can help with? Certainly, a dividend yielding stock is one where the company pays out a portion of its thing. For example, company pays out 12. And so look, now it's even doing things like creating, headlines, a numbered list with bullet points. I didn't ask it to do that. It's just doing that. Risks involved, right? So let's see what it says. Why you would consider it's a stable income stream. It's a reinvestment opportunity. There's potential for lower volatility. There's tax efficiency, and there's a hedge against inflation. Risks, dividend cuts or omissions, market risks, interest rate sensitivity, diversification strategy, dividend investment strategy, selection criteria, final thoughts. So, I asked it to act like a Merrill Lynch, person. That kind of narrowed the context a little bit, and now it gave us this big long thing. From Michael, ChatGPT helped me create an advanced image creation tool for my custom framing business. Perfect. So this is one of the things. When you start playing with ChatGPT, it's easy to fall into the trap of just thinking it's a toy, because the initial things you play with are kind of toys. Write me a poem, write me a song, where it really starts to melt your brain, and then your brains drip out of your ears, and then your eyes cross, and your tongue starts quivering, is when you make a mental shift from this is a toy to let me see what this can do for my business or for my job or for my thing that I enjoy the most in the world. I love stamps, and I want to learn everything there is to know about stamps. And then you ask this thing something that you think is one of the most obscure questions in your area of expertise, and it fucking answers it like that. And you go, oh my God, I had no idea. It's one of my favorite moments is when people, and by the way, a bunch of new people just joined. One of my favorite moments in this channel and in general with this generative AI stuff, let me flip this, is when especially people who were cynical about it or kind of sitting on the sidelines, like, well, I heard ChatGPT hallucinates, and I hear it's stealing people's work, and I hear we get a lot of people that are like, and ChatGPT, AI, it's just hype, it's just hype, it's just hype. You get a lot of that, right? And almost 100% of the time, those people have not tried it. One of my favorite things in the world is when you sit down with them. And I would encourage you to do this. Play with this stuff. And as you learn it, start talking about it with people. Share it with people. And there's a pinned comment. I can't start the poll. Show them ChatGPT. And what ends up happening is, let me see. I got to close that now. I don't want to delete the poll. There we go. What ends up happening is those cynical people realize how powerful this thing is. And then they go, oh. And then you can just see their mind kind of open up. And it's initially excitement. And then it's like a little bit of concern, like, well, that's kind of interesting. And it's like, but it can't do my job. And then they do something about their job. And it can. At some level. And sometimes way better than you think it should be able to. There's another pinned comment there from Jim, which I want to get to. And that's the moment where it's a threshold you can't come back from. Once you realize how powerful these tools are, you kind of can't unlearn it. They're not going to be uninvented. They're getting integrated in everything we do. So go there right now, chat.openai.com. That's the official ChatGPT website. Go to Claude.ai. That's a competitor to ChatGPT that's got some really interesting strengths. Go to bard.google.com. Any one of those three are a great place to start. Can it develop business plans? Shit, yeah. In fact, let's go do a couple of business plans. New level up, type in what your business is, or like the category of your business, and then let's go make a business plan. And if whoever's modding can pin whatever new level up types there, unless they're no longer here, which is possible. There's a lot of volatility in the lab tonight. We were just up to 17,000. Now we're down to 10,000. We're all over the place. This is wild, though. This is fun. Freight dispatch. Okay, perfect. So we're going to say, I want you to act as a business consultant that specializes in creating business plans for one of the big consulting firms, period. You have a friend who is starting a freight dispatch business and wants to do it right and make sure that they have a solid business plan in place, period. Can you recommend 3 different strategies for creating a business plan that might be appropriate for a freight dispatch business, period? I don't want you to start writing the plan yet. I just want you to give me the frameworks so that I can decide which one I want to start with. So notice that, I gave it a lot of context, and I'm even doing a thing like, I don't want to just jump into, is this 17,000 verified humans? That's really funny. Ted looks at life. I have no idea. I don't know what's happening, but I'm digging it. James is tossing some people our way. Please go follow the channel. Please go, subscribe if you want to, hang out here. We're here every night. And, we do these things for, 2.5 or 3 hours live every night. I basically just do them until my voice blows out or my ass gets numb, which it's getting close right now. But this is just wild. This is fun. Okay, so let's see what it did here. So there's the Porter's Five Forces framework. So the objective is to understand the competing forces within the industry to identify areas of strength and potential opportunity. That's pretty cool. The business model canvas I've heard of, and the SWOT analysis. So let's say what we want to do right here is can you combine the advantages of frameworks 1 and 2 and create a hybrid framework that is simple yet powerful and will help your friend position their business for success and investment? Sure, it's called the Strategic Business Positioning Canvas. So you've got your internal business model components, the value proposition, customer segments and relationships, revenue streams, key activities and resources, key partnerships, cost structure. And then you have external industry analysis components. This is really sound. Steps to implement, start with internal components. Okay, great. So I'm going to say, no, this business framework is fine. What I'd like you to do now is make a first attempt at writing this plan for the freight business for your friend. Include as many details as you think are important, and even include industry insights as best you can. And this should give us, so one of the things that ChatGPT is pretty brilliant at is there's a comment pinned, so I can't start the poll. One of the things it's pretty brilliant at is if you get good at asking a couple of framing questions and then get it to do something like this, this business plan will probably be at about 80% of good. Like, it'll probably be actually pretty close to what you would end up with if you took a lot of time and read a bunch of business books and melded two business plans or hired a consultant. That last 20% is the part where you start participating again. So historically, how I've worked is, if something is compelling enough to me or I've got to do something for work, I'll take 3 or 4 days or 3 or 4 weeks. I've got ADD, so sometimes I can just crank shit out like it's nothing. Other times it takes me weeks. And I will sort of get into my hyper-focused tunnel, and I'll take however long it takes, and I'll get to like a good first draft. And that first draft might be at like, I don't know, 85 or 90% of where I want it. And then I spend like the next 3 days, finalizing it. What happens with ChatGPT is you can get to that 80, 85% draft in fucking 5 minutes. So instead of it taking me 3 days or 3 weeks or however long it takes me to get my shit together, I can have, like what we just did here. Let's go look at a little bit of it for this freight business. Value proposition: efficient, reliable, cost-effective freight dispatch services, differentiation, utilization of advanced technology for real-time tracking, scheduling, and communication, ensuring seamless service. Great. It may or may not be that, but you could obviously fine-tune that. Here's your customer segment. Here's your revenue streams, right? So it's got all that stuff there. So I can now take that, and what would have taken me 3 days, I now have in 5 or 10 minutes. And I can spend the next 3 days refining this. So I want to show you something that I actually think is not only relevant, but I think it's quite important. I think it's quite significant. There's a Wharton Business School professor named Ethan Mollick. And if you don't follow him, you should follow him. Brilliant fucking dude. Like right on the cusp of all of this stuff. And he just did this piece. His blog is called One Useful Thing. You should subscribe to it. I don't get paid by him. There's all these people in here. It's just a sham. He just wants us to go to subscribe to Ethan Mollick's thing because he gets kickback. Every time we subscribe to Ethan Mollick's newsletter, Kyle gets like $10. Like, if I did, wouldn't that be fucking awesome? But I don't. So anyway, don't be so cynical. Get a hug. Have someone hug you. So this article that he wrote is called Centaurs, Cyborgs, and the Jagged Frontier. And it's a group of people from Boston Consulting Group where they took a series of consultants and they gave them access to GPT-4, ChatGPT-4, the thing I just showed you. And what they found, this is fucking mind-blowing. So that little chart, but the numbers under the chart right here. Consultants using AI finished 12.2 more tasks. On average, completed them 25% more quickly and produced 40% higher quality results. So more, faster, better. More, faster, better. 12% more, 25% faster, 40% better using ChatGPT. This is Boston Consulting Group. Here's another thing that that this finding that this study found, which again is mind-blowing. This chart. So on the left, these were the bottom half of performing consultants. The lower performing consultants had a 43% increase in quality of work. The higher performing consultants only saw a 17% increase at work. So what's happening is the lower performers are performing. The increase in their performance is dramatically higher for the lower performers in a company. So it's making your best people better, but it's making your not best people dramatically better. So think about this. This is a technology that kind of looks like a Google search bar, that when you actually start applying it to business, it's having, not only a statistically relevant impact, but like a dramatic impact. Like that's what's going on right now. And this is with ChatGPT in its current state. One of the things we joke about here in the lab is, I make fun all the time of these tools are very primitive because they're very new, right? The generative AI stuff, this stuff that's like you can type in some words and magic shit comes out. That has really only been available since November of 2022. So it's like 10 months old. So all of these tools are what we like to call in the AI learning lab janky pieces of shit. They're all just very primitive. So even with them in their primitive state, without them being multimodal and truly, do reasoning and take autonomous action, all of the things that they could be, it's having that kind of effect. 12% more, 25% faster, 40% better. Holy crap. I said magic shit. I did. I swear here. And it is magic shit. But it's also janky shit. The tools are janky right now. And janky's a technical term. If you're not a technologist, you probably howdy partner. Life's tough. It's tougher when you're stupid. All right. By the way, if you stick stupid hats on me, I do respond to them like one of those NPCs. Oh, hot dog. Don't do that. Anyway, ADHD also. Got any tips that get you into hyperfocus? Yeah. I mean, I have tips about these tools and what it's done for me with my ADD. The only other time in my life where I felt overwhelmed to the point that my ADD couldn't keep up with it was in the early days of the World Wide Web, and when I was starting agency.com in 1994, 1995. There was so much to learn and things were happening so fast, I literally couldn't keep up with it, right? One of the joys of ADD is that you can synthesize things really quickly, and with very little information, you can sort of grok stuff, and if you're into it, you can do a deep dive on it. the speed and depth that these tools are sort of being introduced and evolving are absolutely overwhelming. There's absolutely no way I or anyone else can keep up with it in any kind of way. I pay attention to this stuff multiple times a day, and honest to God, I'll take 12 hours where I'm going to, and I just do something else and I don't think about this shit and I miss 7 things. It is impossible to keep up with it. So if you think you're behind, if you think you can't keep up, even if you went 24/7 with this stuff, you can't keep up. So that's the kind of, the overhang of this is that there's literally no way to get your head around it. So just give that piece up. So that's a big piece of it. Now the hyper focus thing. All right. Historically, before ChatGPT, if I had an idea, it would have to be, you know how you have those ideas? So sometimes you have an idea and it's just like a brilliant idea and you kind of do like a quick hyper focus, but then you have those other ideas where it's an idea that haunts you, right? And you think about it and then you're like, oh, that's pretty cool. I should do that. And then you forget about it. And then like 2 days later, you're like that. And then 2 days later, you like wake up from asleep and you're like, oh, I really got to do this thing. And then you go into hyper focus, but it's a big idea and it's one that can't escape your brain. And then at some point you give into it and you hyper focus. And then with ADD, there's like 1,000 other ideas and almost all of those ideas just sort of pass through. They pass through squirrel, 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 squirrel. So because of that dynamic, you tend to only do hyper focus, I don't know, every 3 weeks. Depending on your manicness, it might be once a week, it might be twice a week, it might be once or twice a month. What's happening with ChatGPT is that I can have just a whisper of an idea, like not even a super compelling idea, but it's like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And then what I'm having to train myself is go, get it out of your head and into ChatGPT. So I'll have like a whisper of an idea. I hop into ChatGPT and then I just start playing with it. And what happens is I get to 80% of an articulated vision of, or not even vision. I get to an articulated instance of that idea sitting in front of me. And then I can spend 15 minutes in a hyper-focus tunnel refining it, or I can look at it and go, it wasn't such a good idea. But it's like instant. And I can have, I find myself having, instead of like 2 or 3 of those a month, where I was doing that historically, I'm sometimes having 2 or 3 ideas a day. And definitely, multiple days a week. It's one of the reasons I'm doing these lives is because one of the purposes these lives serve for me is a way for me to process what the hell is going on in my brain, because these tools are amplifying my ideas in ways that I've never been able to do. So that study that Ethan Mullock showed about the BCG consultants being faster, better, and producing more stuff, I'm finding the same thing. I'm creating more, better, faster ideas. And the other thing is, where a lot of times my ADD would be crippling, where I'd sort of have an initial idea, but then if it required actual research or if it required actual paying attention to it, it would fall away, because I would just be off to some other thing and I'd be like, oh yeah, that was a good idea, but it's too much work, and I wouldn't do it. Well, this now does all the research. It organizes shit. You can have 4 different ideas and you literally copy and paste those ideas together into a single ChatGPT session and say, hey, over the past week, I had these 4 ideas. Do they have anything in common? And it'll find the connection between them. You're like, oh, that's really interesting. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. Can you come up with a 5th idea that is the umbrella for them? Sure, here it is. Sam Korn, for capturing ideas, I highly recommend Ari AI. They have excellent transcription and, hang on, magic summarization. All right, Ari AI, AURAI. That sounds very cool. Let me go look at that. Ari.ai. Ooh, they have cool colors too. That I'm a sucker for that dark, the dark black with the blue thing. I can draft emails, record and transcribe voice memos, create meeting notes, write essays, correct your grammar. Okay, cool. All right, so this is like an AI-powered chatbot that you could just chat ideas into. That's super cool. Okay, I'll definitely check that out. I ran 5K off. So you can ramble into a voice note for a while, and then it totally cleans it up and summarizes it. That's super cool. In fact, let's see. I'm going to write this down outside of my computer because I have ADD. And if I don't, nothing will happen with it. Look, here's my notebook. Any other people have ADD? All right. Ari.ai. All right. I'm definitely going to start playing with that. That's awesome. Thank you, Sam. Sam Korn's one of the irregulars here. The irregulars are the people who show up here every night and hang out with me. They're awesome. They're really supportive. They're also supportive of the community. If you have questions and comments below, put them down below. Happy Friday night, everyone. At the peak tonight, we had 17,000 people in here. We still have 4.8 thousand people in here, which is a little odd. The funny thing about TikTok is this was a little intimate bistro for like 3.5 months, and all of a sudden tonight, we're like playing a fucking theater or stadium, a small stadium. So it's super cool to have everyone here, and it's just super cool. So anyway, welcome everybody that's new here. We'll get the janky pieces of shit thing out of the way, and then let's see. That's a good one. All right, beauty. All right, tons of post-it notes. Yeah, exactly. Sherry Banks knows the ADD game. And by the way, if you're here and didn't know it,
You can make money with ChatGPT.
this is an inside joke here at the AI Learning Lab. So one of my pet peeves are all those TikTok sites as you're scrolling through TikTok and there's like some guy like leaning into your face going, you can make money with ChatGPT. They're worse than the crypto bros. To be clear, how they're making money is by getting you to pay them money so that they tell you how to make money with ChatGPT. They're not making money with ChatGPT because if they were, they wouldn't be screaming in your face about making money with ChatGPT. We're breaking all the codes. We are breaking all the codes. It's crazy in here, isn't it, JRC? Just nuts. Here's my philosophy on how you make money with ChatGPT because there's a flippant answer. Make it rain. Oh yeah. There's a flippant answer to these guys, right?
You can make money with ChatGPT.
The flippant answer is fuck them, don't listen to them. That's not where the money is. But the real answer is this. Because ChatGPT is so sexy, because AI is sexy, it's very easy to get seduced into thinking it's something more than a tool. It's not. It's not a strategy. AI is not a strategy. ChatGPT is not a strategy. ChatGPT is a tool. Just like Photoshop is a tool, just like Microsoft Word is a tool, just like a hammer is a tool, just like a shovel is a tool. So when someone says you can make money with ChatGPT, it's the equivalent of saying you can make money with a shovel. Okay. Why would you say that? Right? If someone said it about a shovel, you'd be like, okay, that's fucking weird. Well, how do you make money with a shovel? I don't know. You find out who needs holes dug. And if you can figure out the way to use your shovel in a way that digs their holes in a way they're willing to pay you for it, you can make money with a shovel. Exact same thing with ChatGPT, with AI, with Midjourney, with all these things. So the place to start, if you want to make money with ChatGPT, is start with you. What are you good at? What are you passionate about? What do you know in the world is a pain point that you could probably solve if you had the skills to do it or if you had the tools to do it? Oh, well, I know how to throw really good parties. Awesome. Could you throw really good parties that people would be willing to pay for? Yeah, okay. Then go to ChatGPT and say, hey, I'm really good at throwing parties and I'd love to figure out how I could make money throwing parties. It'll give you 40 fucking ideas. And then of the 40 ideas, 2 of them will be really interesting to you. And you're like, oh, hey, ChatGPT, these 2 are really interesting to me. Can you tell me more about them? Out they come. Oh, that one's really good. And before you know it, this idea of the hyper-focus tunnel, you can have a whisper of an idea for a business and within 5 minutes have it articulated to the point that you could say, now give me 10 names for that business. Now give me 30 taglines for the name that I picked. Now write me a website, and it'll write you all the website copy. Within an hour, you could have a fully articulated business from a standing start with nothing. That's how you make money with ChatGPT. ChatGPT is just the accelerant. It's just a tool that accelerates the shit coming out of your brain. It's a humanity amplifier. That's what, not the AI Learning Lab is. That's what ChatGPT is. That's what Claude is. That's what Bard is. That's what Midjourney is. That's what the audio generation tools are. That's what the Runway ML text to video tools are. Everyone's talking about these tools like the tools are going to save you. No. You're going to save you amplified by these tools. Humanity amplifiers. Okay? But where do I start? I'm not very technical. Start here. That's why I have them on screen on every one of my lives. I've been doing this for months now, nightly, here. Why do I have these here? Start here. Because we're early. Still need a recommendation on a voice to text transcription service. Okay. Whisper is really good. So if you go to, there's a couple of ways that you can do it. You can get the OpenAI app, the ChatGPT official app from OpenAI. It does transcriptions. You can basically flip it into talk to me mode and it will transcribe there. You can also, this is a bit wonky. There's not actually a simple way to get to this, which I think is kind of shitty. But I think this is ultimately going to be built into ChatGPT. So I don't think you have to do it this way for long. But if you go to platform.openai.com/playground, that brings you to the ChatGPT playground. Hang on a sec. Sorry, the voice is going, All right, we're down to 2,000 people now. We're down to normal levels. No, we're not. We're still like 10 times where we normally are. So welcome, everybody. All right. So within the OpenAI playground, again, the URL is platform.openai.com/playground. And then that brings you here. And this is where developers, develop their prompts and things like that. So if you're creating automations in Zapier, for example, this is where I come to develop my prompts. So over on the right-hand side here, there's the mode. So if you move out of chat mode and into complete mode, there's this little teeny tiny microphone right here. This gives you access to Whisper. So you click on that, and now you can upload a voice audio file or a video file with voice in it, or you can just record, and this will generate it to text. I've got this built into my company Storyvine, where every video in the system, I can just push a button and it'll automatically do this for any video in the system. But it has to be done programmatically. But this is how you can actually do it. And then once it generates it, it'll put the text right in here. Whisper's really good. it's not 100%, but it's above 90. These voice to text transcription tools historically have sucked bad. Like, I have an 11 and a half year old company, and I have not, I have not had transcription as part of the company. Emily, this is going to save me so much time. Awesome, Emily. I didn't have transcriptions as part of my video platform for 11 years until Whisper came along, and it's because it's actually good. It still gets shit wrong, but it's at least acceptable at this point. All right, how are we doing time wise? 10:51. It's getting late. It's getting late. All right. Can it generate SRT files for the videos? What's an SRT file? Is that the subtitle? Hang on, let me go find out what an SRT file is. I know I own a video company. I should know what that is, but .srt for video file. SRT. Oh, yeah, that's captioning. Yes, it can. I don't know what the parameters are. Hang on. Let me pop a video in there and let's go play with it. File type is not supported. Well, you're an asshole. Do I have an MP4 here?
So we've heard.
Oh, let's do this one. This is the dual dialogue one. This is one with me speaking both English. Oh, no, it's a .mov. I need an MP4. Oh, these are too long. Oh, good Lord. It's never easy, is it? It's just never easy. I try and I try and I try, people, and then the file format's not supported. What am I supposed to do? MP3. Let me go find an MP3. I don't even know if I have any MP3 things that are worth going home. All right, that's not good. Let me see. .mp4 is an MPEG-4 movie. So those are all those. I guess we'll throw that up there. All right. Transcribing. Thank you for the roses. A rose by any other name would smell as sweet. Yeah, voice to text and text to speech went from useless to job killer in like 6 months. Exactly, /home/Dave. By the way, /home/Dave, 10 out of 10 on the name. Emily, thank you for the... Oh, you're giving me all the toys. I had lightning bolt and a pepper and a little ice cream cone and a world and a... What the hell is that? It's a microphone or a fist or some sort of phallic situation. Why did that not transcribe that video? I don't know. Anyway, I don't know what the settings are for generating SRT files. Within Storyvine, I've got Storyvine set up to generate a VTT file, which is also a subtitling format. So I know Whisper can do lots of different subtitling formats. It can pull down time code when it does the transcription. So it's pretty sophisticated. It also, here's the other just fucking wild ass thing about these tools is like ChatGPT. All these tools are brilliant at translation. Emily, I'm so grateful for your help. You're welcome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Pringles. I loves me a good hot dog. Who doesn't like a hot dog? You know who doesn't like hot dogs? Liars. You know those vegans. You know every insufferable vegan that you know is sneaking a fucking hot dog on a Saturday night after they get home from the bar, leave the bar. You know that's going on. Bitter? You betcha. but these transcription tools, you can translate this stuff into any language, and now with HEYGEN, you can do it with the video itself. Honest to God, I feel like we're in a post sci-fi reality. I think about almost every sci-fi movie that I experienced as a kid or as an adult, and with very few exceptions, we're just checking off the technologies. Like, oh, yep, we can do that now. Oh, we can do that now. That'll probably be a year. Like nothing's a decade away anymore. Nothing. Time travel's the only one where I'm like, oh, okay, we're gonna have to probably wait a couple of decades. Like I probably won't be here for time travel, but like curing cancer and curing genetic diseases and like climate change and energy production. I mean, just it's going to be fucking insane. So anyway, it's just crazy. It looks like we just got a whole new pile of people. We're down to 2,000 people. We're back up to 7,000. Welcome, everyone. My name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. Tonight's a bit of a trip because we normally have anywhere from 50 to 150 people in here, and now there's 7,000. So, hey, I'm Kyle. This is the AI Learning Lab. We have cute little graphics. Like, see? That. And then we got I'm Not a Robot, Goodbye. We got AI Learning Lab on a Little Planet. All these images were created with a tool called Ideogram, which if you've not played with it, does text. And if you've ever used Midjourney and tried to get it to do something like have words, it was really frustrating because it not did words. And many people, when I would show them this AI stuff, they're like, oh, make a thing that says blank, whatever the saying was that they wanted to do. And you can't. You'd have to say, well, the tools are kind of stupid right now. All right, how do I turn my hard copy notes into soft copy something? I didn't quite see what that was. You can do that right now natively if you've got an iPhone. You go into Notes, and then you say scan a document, hard copy notes into soft copy notes. So there's a couple of ways you can do it. There's a notebook called Rocket Books, which are really cool. They're not they might be using AI, but they're physical notebooks, and they've basically got QR codes on the page. So you just take notes with a normal pen. They've got a version of the notebook you can take notes with erasable pens, and then you can microwave it, and it erases all your notes if you microwave it. It's pretty cool. But Rocketbook, you can just write notes, and then you use the Rocketbook app to take pictures of the notes, and it scans everything. That required a bit too much management for me. I know within iOS, you can go into the Notes app, and you put it into document mode, and it'll OCR shit. So you can just take pictures, and it'll do it. Leonardo is a good one for images too. Yeah, Leonardo's good. So let me show you my list of image generation tools that I think are worth paying attention to, because Leonardo's on there. Leonardo doesn't do text. Ideogram does text. So I'll talk about these here. So here's how this is going to roll. Midjourney's the best for probably another week. Because DALL-E 3 is coming, and I think DALL-E 3 is just going to obliterate a bunch of these things. There's a comment pin, so I can't start the poll. There we go. Okay. Midjourney's the best. The problem with Midjourney, I don't know if it's a problem, but you have to generate images from within Discord, and it's a real pain in the ass. Ideogram is not as good at image generation, but it is good at text generation. And you can make posters, and you can make t-shirts, and you can do all sorts of stuff. Not super precise, but good. Leonardo is a web interface sitting on top of Stable Diffusion. So if you're geeky, you can use, there's this interface called Automatic 1111, where you can do all sorts of, flips and switches for Stable Diffusion. If you don't feel like installing your own software, manually, use Leonardo.ai. You just go to that website. They give you 150 free credits a day, which translates to about 7 or 8 images a day. But you can make 7 or 8 good images a day with a nice interface. HEYGEN, I'll come back to. Adobe Firefly and Photoshop Generative Fill came out of beta last week, and which basically means you can now use the images you generate there commercially. The other thing about Adobe and Photoshop Generative Fill, or Firefly and Generative Fill, Adobe's image models have not been trained on copywritten images. It's been trained on public domain and Adobe stock images. Adobe also has a plan for allowing artists to opt out of being trained, opt into being trained, and have a compensation and attribution model. So Adobe is going to make image generation, or already are, safe for corporate America. So those are the biggies. HeyGen is not an image generation tool. It's a text to audio and then to video animation tool. But they have this thing called Video Translate that one of their engineers cooked up. And it's fucking insane. The backlog to get your videos rendered right now are just stupidly long. But check this out. So this is a video of me. I intercut my original English video with the Italian translation that HeyGen did.
So we've heard from a number of clients that modular content is important to them, getting more efficient
Ted.
with how we create content and how we leverage content. Clienti dicono che il contenuto modulare è importante, rendendo più efficiente la creazione dei contenuti. Behind me, you see these little green boxes. That's how we think about stories at Storyvine. We break stories down into little atoms, right? Little modules. Dietro di me, vedi queste piccole scatole verdi? Così pensiamo alle storie.
So, just absolutely wild. Okay, I just saw a comment from Jules. So, Jules, my daughter, who's an artist, just chastised me for AI-generated art because it's stealing work. Okay. Okay, this is an incredibly nuanced conversation. I made it to Whisper, but can't find where to go to upload. Okay, hang on a sec. You made it to Whisper. You mean, did you get into ChatGPT Playground? Go to platform.openai.com/playground. And then flip from chat mode into complete mode. So it'll default you into chat mode. It's not available there. Flip into complete mode. And then that little microphone icon is the thing you're looking for. I want to go back to the image generation thing. The way that ChatGPT works and the way that diffusion models work, they're not copying and pasting. They're not copying and pasting. And in fact, I am so passionate about explaining this, I made slides. I got slides. AI isn't copying and pasting. Now, I made this image in Midjourney. This is the misconception right now, is that these tools are, when you ask for some sort of photograph, that it's going into some photographer's work and cutting the car out of it and pasting it into some magic composite. It's not what it's doing. Now, that said, these models have been trained on copywritten work, and the artists whose work it's been trained on haven't gotten attribution, haven't gotten compensation. But here's a metaphor I like to think of. If I have in my finger a grain of sugar and you're making cake batter, and I take that grain of sugar and I toss it into the cake batter, and then you bake the cake, trying to figure out what part of an AI generated image came from what specific image that it was trained on is kind of like asking to find that grain of sugar in your baked cake. It no longer exists in that form. When they train the GPT models, the large language models on these massive data sets, they might have been trained on the novel War and Peace, but the way the words get embedded, the way they get turned into vector space, is just words in semantic clouds. War and Peace ceases to exist. What it pulled out of War and Peace were the meaning of the words related to one another. And all of them get amalgamated into this massive mathematical set. Same thing with the images. They get denoised, or they get noised from an actual image into a noisy image. And in fact, I've got a slide that shows this. Here. Okay, we're going to do this now. Screw it, because this is important. I want you to, you can tell your doctor, I saw some old guy on TikTok and he told me that it's not stealing. Here's the deal. This is a very, very, very gray area, because this is absolutely impacting people's livelihoods, and it's transforming how art is created, who creates art, how it's created. But it's a very nuanced argument. So if you or your daughter actually understand how these things are made, you can at least be more educated in where the solutions might lie. Because I think the entire industry right now is focused on the wrong part of the equation. Everyone's focused on the output and how these images are used. And I think where to focus is on the generation and compensating people whose work has been put into these things, and compensate them on the generation of the image. But anyway, here's how they work. So you've got your large language model. You've got your ChatGPT. The way the image models work is you've got your large language model. You've got it paired with a diffusion model in this case. There's also GANs. There's different kinds of technologies, but the one I'm going to show you is a diffusion model. So if you just notice the image that was there, it was that sort of house on a cliff, illustration. That image, when it gets put into the training database, it's labeled, right? So someone went through and they labeled it, or they used computer vision to label it. They said, there's grass, there's trees, there's a house, there's a cliff, there's mountains, there's sky, so whatever. So in that image, there were all these words that they put in there, right? And then they use a noising algorithm to noisify the image. So the image is no longer an image of that thing. It's this noisified mathematical blob that has some words associated with it. And then based on the prompt that you put into a large language model, the large language model interprets those words, and then it filters out the relevant vectors. And so I explained this earlier with ChatGPT, but this is what's called vector space. All of these dots are like they're sort of strings of numbers that represent a point in mathematical space. This is a 2D representation of it. Real vector spaces are like 1,000 dimensions. It's literally impossible to conceptualize, but just imagine. So every one of those dots is like a word, but it's not a word, it's a number. And the groupings are semantic clusters. Like you might have, animals down here, and within here's dogs, but you have like people that are bad in relationships, and you have dogs up here, but those are men that treat their women bad, right? So you have these different semantic clusters. Okay, now, how do we get from this mess to a picture? So again, you're combining this idea of a large language model with this sort of tagged diffusion image library. So if our prompt is cat on a desk, what the large language model does is it basically says, okay, in all these semantic clusters, here's all the vectors that have been tagged cat. And then here's all the vectors that have been tagged desk. And then within those, the cat images are all these random noise images, and the desk images are all these random noise images. It actually can't see what's in the images. It just knows that these were tagged cat and desk. And then it mathematically averages those noisy images into a final noisy image. And then using the reverse of the algorithm that made the noise, it denoises the image over 30 or 50 or 70 steps until you have an image that's a cat on a desk. This is an original image that came out of effectively the imagination of all of the shit it's been trained on, combined with your prompt in this sort of mathematical magic that is actually generating an original piece of art. Now, where does it get really fucked up and fuzzy? Well, if you type in, "I want a cat on a desk illustrated by Greg Rutkowski," who's an illustrator who's famously showed up in almost every Midjourney and Stable Diffusion prompt for months. And all the images looked like his images. Why? Because when you type in the word Greg Rutkowski, if he's tagged in the language model, it's going to pull all of his images. And even though it's averaging them and it's creating a new original image, it's doing it in his style because those were the source sort of training elements that went into generating that noisy image. So your daughter's not wrong to say, this is fucked up. But it ain't stealing, and it ain't copying and pasting. And so, anyway, I hope that helps. So, we still have a lot of people in here. So, welcome if you're new here. My name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. I've been going for a while tonight. My voice is officially checking out. So, I'm just going to do a few more minutes, but, another 10 minutes maybe. But follow me. Feel free to subscribe. I do these lives every night. I've been doing them every night now for about 3 months, 4 months. I don't know, some amount of time. I think it's really important. I'm here to kind of demystify this AI stuff, have fun. It's been a little intense tonight because normally there's like 50 to 100, maybe 150 people. Tonight, there's been as many as 17,000. Right now, we're at about 6,500. So welcome, everybody. If you have questions, pop them in the comments below. We've got some moderators that are picking interesting comments and putting them up. Normally, I try to answer all of the questions. With 7,000 people in here, I don't think I can do that. But, what are you going to do? All right, let's answer some questions. Let's get to it. All right. Are you an AI evangelist? Yeah, I think so. I'm certainly an AI optimist. I know that the popular thing to say these days are the robots are going to kill us. I think there is an equal, if not higher, chance that the robots are going to elevate us. They're going to free us from doing the mundane work. They're going to amplify our capabilities, and they're going to allow us to do remarkable work overall. I also believe that the changes that are coming way faster than anyone's prepared for. They are going to be dramatically disruptive, and it's going to cause a lot of pain, and it's going to transform almost every job. Any job that is computer mediated in any way is going to be affected by this stuff. And so this channel is really just about opening up the conversation and saying, if you're sitting on the sidelines, you don't have as much time as you think you do for how fast this stuff is coming. And so a big part of what I kind of proselytize here, if I evangelize anything, it's get curious now. Like, go there right now. Chat.openai.com. You don't need to do all this other shit that I'm talking about, all these other technologies. Save that for another day. If you haven't tried ChatGPT, go there right now. Right now. Like, not, I'll get to it after the live's over. I'm on TikTok. I don't want to go there. Just go there right now. Fucking do it. Fucking do it. Do it. Do it. And just start playing. I've got a comment pinned, so I can't start the poll. So why do that? Because this isn't a Google search. It looks like a Google search. It's not a Google search. It's profoundly more powerful than that. These are like the most powerful tools that have ever been put in the hands of mere mortals, kind of shy of the nuclear bomb, which was not put in the hands of mere mortals. This stuff is really, really powerful, and we get to play with it. So it's in everybody's interest right now to get curious about this and understand what it's good at, what it's not good at. The conversation I just had about the mother who said her daughter kind of slapped her down for, generated images are stealing and this and that. Like, I'm glad her daughter is aware of it and has an opinion on it. I want everyone to get more educated about it because it's not as black and white. It's really easy to demonize this shit. It's really easy to dismiss it. Oh, it's not perfect. It hallucinates. It lies. Was that explanation ideogram? That explanation was just generally how diffusion models work. Ideogram's one of them. I don't know how they're getting. I assume what they're doing is they're doing two different diffusion models where one is images and one is text, and they're somehow combining those in the sort of noisy algorithm part. I don't honestly know how they're doing what they're doing, but it's a diffusion model, so it's some fancy version of what I showed. I make most of my YouTube videos scripting with ChatGPT. Yep, exactly. So just go to these things and just go to this and start playing. Go to prompts.chat. That'll teach you how to play with these things. Just get educated about it, get curious about it, and just keep coming back to this. This is why this is here. Was that last explanation ideogram? That's what I just explained. A lot of tools he has shown tonight weren't here 2 weeks ago. Exactly. So for the people that have been here regularly, what you don't know is if you just joined here is that these lists that I show of the different tools, these have been changing regularly. This one that just looks like a novel right now, this used to be like 2 or 3 tools. And now, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. And then what's missing from here is DALL-E 3, which was announced 2 days ago and is going to show up maybe in a week, maybe over the weekend. Who knows? And it's going to knock Midjourney and ideogram off this list, I think. Because Midjourney, you have to go into Discord. You have to learn Discord. And then you have to learn command line functions. You have to type in command lines to make images in Midjourney. It is the least visually the fact that the most sophisticated image tool has to be typed in with command lines is fucking absurd. So what's going to happen with DALL-E 3 is the quality is going to probably be as good as Midjourney, or at least close to it. It's going to be able to do text better than ideogram does, and you're going to be able to do it within the context of a long ChatGPT conversation and generate multiple images within that conversation where as it's generating the images, it's aware of the entire conversation. So it can do things like maintain a single character across visual prompts, which if you've ever tried to do that in Midjourney, it's effectively impossible. Even with ControlNet with Stable Diffusion, it's effectively impossible. You can get there. There's people that have hacked it, but you can't just say this character's name is Bob. Now put Bob in a spacesuit. Now put Bob on a fire truck. Now put Bob at the hot dog stand. DALL-E 3 will do that. None of these tools can do that right now. Like, that's going to change in a week. Been loving this stream. I try and catch it when I get home from my gigs. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Scott Curtis. What kind of gigs? You a musician? That's super cool. All right, let me do. We're down to a paltry 1,600 people. Which, thank you all for hanging out for a little bit. Now 1,700 people. It's going back up. Normally these are kind of intimate little gatherings, and we have lots of inside jokes and things like that. Kyle, you missed Jules sent you a beautiful gift, a glowing jellyfish. Oh, I did miss it. I don't know what I was looking at, but thank you, Jules. That's amazing. Thank you very much. Listen, it's funny. It's funny. Some nights I'll be in here. There'll be like 30 people in here, and the people that are in here regularly, we've kind of established a fun relationship. But it's been kind of an intimate little thing. And there's some nights I'm like, well, is this really making a difference? And then, tonight lots and lots of people are in here, and I think it might make a difference, but it's, the nature of what it is changed. So I hope you come back. I'm going to go because my voice is absolutely fried. Is there an app for DALL-E 3? Okay, so DALL-E 3, what I'm going to do is go to openai.com /DALL-E-3. DALL-E. Oh, this is absolutely fucking mind blowing. What's coming? So, and if you haven't played with these image generation models before, this won't be mind blowing. This will just be like, oh, that looks cool. One of the toughest things to do with these image generation tools is get them to predictably do what you want them to do. And so DALL-E 3, a couple of things about this. This is from OpenAI. So this is from the people that make ChatGPT 4. They currently have a thing called DALL-E 2, which if you want to play with it, if you go to bing.com, here, I'll show you. Go to bing.com, and then you go to chat. That's ChatGPT 4. On Bing, and I can say, make me an image of a hedgehog driving a fire truck. And this will use DALL-E 2 to make the image of a hedgehog driving a fire truck. DALL-E 2 hasn't been updated in, I think, over a year. It's not good, but it's there, and it's free. And look, there's a hedgehog in a fire truck. Now, is it bad? No, it's not bad. They're actually pretty good. I wonder, powered by DALL-E, I don't think this is DALL-E 3 yet. Those seem a little primitive. So anyway, okay. So let's go back to DALL-E 3. So DALL-E 2 was okay, but DALL-E 3, it's going to be natively incorporated into ChatGPT 4. So you're in ChatGPT and you're having a conversation. Maybe you're writing a children's book, or maybe you're writing a graphic novel. And then you'll just be able to immediately within that say, go make me this kind of image. And it will use GPT-3. Now check out what this does. This is a fun kind of New Yorker kind of illustration. But here's what I want you to pay attention to. And if you've ever made images, you'll see how remarkable this is. The prompt is an illustration of an avocado sitting in a therapist's chair saying, I just feel so empty inside. So it did the text perfectly. It's an avocado sitting in a therapist's chair with a pit-sized hole in the center. So that looks like a pit, but it's actually a hole. It's a pit-sized hole. The therapist, a spoon, scribbles notes. So all of the elements in that prompt are represented in that image. If you have ever tried to get Midjourney to do two concepts in the same prompt, it's essentially impossible. It will always prioritize one over the other, and you will want to smash your face into your computer or a brick wall. It's maddening. So this is just going to do that now. The prompt here, a 2D animation of a folk music band composed of anthropomorphic autumn leaves. All right, perfect. There's anthropomorphic autumn leaves. As if I could ever conceive of that. Now you can conceive of it and just make it. This one, look at this prompt. I'll read it and then I'll zoom in on the image because it's a remarkable image. In front of a deep black backdrop, a figure of middle years, her Tongan skin, rich and glowing, is captured mid-twirl, her curly hair flowing like a storm behind her. Her attire resembles a whirlwind of marble and porcelain fragments, illuminated by the gleam of scattered porcelain shards, creating a dreamlike atmosphere. The dancer manages to appear fragmented, yet maintains a harmonious and fluid form. And look at that. Fragments of porcelain, swirling porcelain, her hair like a storm. I mean, remarkable, remarkable. Okay, so let me close that down. How do I get out of here? There it is. Let's look at a couple other things here. This is really interesting. So what they did here was they took a long prompt and they broke it up and sort of pointed to, so part of the prompt was sidewalks bustling with pedestrians enjoying nightlife, bustling city under a full moon, under the shine of a full moon. So you get shadows, the full moon, the shine. Her prompt, at the corner stall, a young woman with fiery red hair dressed in a signature velvet cloak, haggling with a grumpy old vendor. And then the vendor, a grumpy vendor, a tall, sophisticated man, he's taller than her, wearing a sharp suit, yes, sports a noteworthy mustache, yes, and animatedly conversing on his steampunk telephone, yes. Like, holy crap. So the level of control here is going to be amazing. Let's see. That was DALL-E 2. That's DALL-E 3. It's just on a complete different level. And then I'll play this video. So one thing that I'll note here before I play it, I'm not going to stop it. So the video they generate this hedgehog that you see right there. And then the first thing that happens is the person doing it picks one of the hedgehogs and says, "My daughter said his name was Larry." And then just watch what it does. Right, so just remarkable. Let's see. So Jules asks, is DALL-E 3 like ideogram where your creation is available and to people in the public once generated? I don't think so, because it's going to be a plugin within a ChatGPT chat. You can probably share your chat. And then someone else asked another thing right below that. What did they ask? What tool we using tonight? This I was just showing DALL-E 3. Anyway, this should just roll out. So the people that are going to get first access to DALL-E 3 are ChatGPT Plus members. So the $20 a month will get you access to this before anyone else. So I have thought for a long time ChatGPT is worth the $20. Now with this, it's definitely worth the $20. And with Code Interpreter, it's really, 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 really worth it. Emilio's wife appropriately made fun of me for saying I was just going to put in another 5 minutes. It's already 11:30. All right. Yeah, I got to go, people. I know. Isn't that amazing, Jules? It's amazing. The other question was, update on the Mandarin video. I don't think we're going to be anywhere close. I think I actually have to pay for, where was it? Window. No. DALL-E. Let me just log in. HEYGEN. Someone asked, did DALL-E 3 talk about how long those images took to render? No, but they're not going to be. I don't think they're going to be that long. They wouldn't be releasing this if they were super long. I need. Hang on. Labs.heygen.com. I'm down to 78,511 in line. So, yeah, we're not going to. My voice is fried. Sees a question. Shut up. Shut up. I resemble that remark, Emilio's wife. All right. I'm going to put a little picture up here. Couple of things. All right, we'll do one more poll. All right, I got to go. Listen, this has been awesome. This has been absolutely surreal tonight. Thank you to, I think it was James who dumped thousands of people into the chat tonight. It was a wild one indeed. All the irregulars are like, holy crap, what happened? I'm like that too. So thank you all for supporting this. You know what's funny? Had we not set you all up as mods, however it was 3 weeks ago, and sort of figured out what we were doing here, this would have been total fucking chaos tonight. So thank you for all the work you do. Thank you for showing up here every night. For those of you that are still hanging out from the new influx of people, thank you. Come back. Follow me, subscribe to the channel, all that sort of happy horse shit. This has been really awesome. Nancy, good to see you. And Major fundraising. We had such a crowd. We did. We had a big one. We'll talk about future of work. I know that's something that you wanted to talk about, Ann, at some point. We'll talk about this over the weekend if you're around. Just make sure you pop a comment in there. It was a little hard tonight with 17,000 people in here to get your comment in. But Forever Hooked, great, good night. Vicky, Emilio's wife, Jules, thank you. Bazette, Steve-O, you're awesome. Ted, thank you very much. Historic, it was a historic night, wasn't it? It was fucking crazy. Cabruno, thank you. Peace out. Scott Curtis, Silver Fox. All right, all. You all are awesome. Have a fantastic rest of your Friday night. The Suzuka Grand Prix should be a good one. Max Verstappen didn't win a race last week. He got to be pissed. He's going to dominate that race. So, I'll see y'all tomorrow.